Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to Watch the Obsession live stream, chat, and discussion featuring a deep dive into the Kiely Rodni case to help ensure that we do find complete justice for Kiely because, man, don't we need it? I know we do. You know we do. We do. So, welcome everybody, and I'm sorry that I'm late. I feel like I say that every time, but um, just technical difficulties. I left my, whatever computer. I just switched computers. So to get my son's computer and then log out all of his stuff and log into all my stuff. So, hi, Zyra. Am I saying your name right? Welcome. How are you doing? Yarn Mittens, thank you so much. One of our wonderful moderators, and she's been really holding down the fort for me. So I really appreciate that. Hi, Mrs. Kelly. How are you? Great to see you. Hi, Blind Fury. How are you doing? Nice to see you as well. And see who else is here. Hi, Casey Breen. How's it doing? How's it going? Also nice to see you. And let's see. Hi. Oh gosh, what do we have today? Kevin out Stamosing, Stamos Bashnek. Like out Stamosing, out John Stamosing, John Stamos. And yes, you are Kevin out Stamosing, Stamos Bashnek. Always, you're the best. Glad you're here as always. Let's see. Okay, let me come down to current time here in chat. So, oh my gosh, so much to talk about. Hi, Mia M. How are you doing, sweetheart? So glad you're here. And let's see. Hi, TF. How is it going? Good vibes. I always love that. Hi, Angie Vallejo. How's it going? Nice to see you. Welcome to live stream and chat. What's the obsession? Hi, Ara, darling. How are you doing? Another one of our wonderful moderators. Let's see. Mia M is now as well. Thank you, Mia M. Hi, Downtown Wonder. How's it going? Nice to see you. And in my opinion, love that name. Tell us your opinion. We want to know what you think. Hi, Fred Field. Welcome. How are you doing? From Chicagoland. Nice. I've never been to Chicago. I've been I don't know, everywhere in the United States. I feel like I love big cities. I try to go to them all. I lived in New York City for a short time and then Philadelphia for 20 years, Center City. Never been to Chicago. But I do live in, you guys have that nasty, what is it, Great Lake wind? I live in upstate New York. We do have Great Lake winds too, and all kinds of winds. Probably very cold like Chicago. Hi, David Harris. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, Agape Love. Great to see you. Hi, Mark Molina. Nice to see you as well. And so glad all of you guys are here. Hi, Charlotte Green. How's it going? Nice to see you also. Pride and Honesty, my friend. I'm so glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Pride and Honesty, we have to talk maybe tomorrow about Delphi. Yeah, let's do that. And Yarn Mittens too. We've got some good Delphi content coming out for you guys too, guys. I think we have some, I don't know, I dare say exclusive stuff. Tomorrow evening, just so you know, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Remember, we are going to be changing our clocks back this weekend, so everybody get ready for that. We're going to go back to some Watts content that I've been working on for a really long time. So I hope it's going to be good. Hope you're going to be there. It's going to be tomorrow night. So today's Kiely Rodni. Justice for Kiely. Let's see. All right. And if I missed you, I'm very sorry. I totally didn't mean to miss you. I must have just, I don't know what I did, but just say hi. We'll say hi back. Hi, John McSmith. How's it going? Shout out to my back guru, Kelly. Yes. And Watts the Obsession. Yes, I'm really trying to get some more yoga videos out there too, John, for you and for everyone else. Because having a healthy back and feeling good is super important now, isn't it? Okay. So talking about the Kiely Rodni case. Oh gosh. I just wrote Downtown Wonder. I'm not even going to pin that because we have enough heaviness to deal with. But my gosh, it's a crazy world. And okay, so thinking about the Kiely Rodni case and justice for Kiely, gosh. As we know, the past few days, along with, getting into all of the Delphi stuff, because that's really important right now. I've been going back and looking at all of the press conferences, the community meetings, and, reading mostly primary source material of what investigators had to say as this investigation was going on, as they were looking for Kiely. As days went on and they started to have the feeling that it was going to be more of a recovery effort, so sadly. And man, guys, there's inconsistencies all over the place. And I'm not talking inconsistencies like one official says one thing and another official says another thing, and maybe they like get the facts confused because there's a lot going on. And as we know, there was 19 agencies and over 300 boots on the ground, fins in the water, or yeah, I don't know, wings in the air. First-handedly going out there and searching for Kiely Rodni, which becomes really problematic in itself. And I'm going to get to that point in just a moment. That accumulated over 19,000 manpower hours, they say, searching for Kiely. Well, gosh darn it, y'all. She was 55 feet off the shore of Prosser Lake where her phone last pinged at 12:33 a.m. And hey, well, don't you know it? We finally, found that somehow. I don't know if, it was just dropped upon us by the heavens. The fire camera that pictured what really looked to be like headlights buzzing around, perhaps the mass exodus of the party at Prosser Lake campground that got a little bit out of hand. And then what really looked like the headlights of a car going into the lake and then eventually submerging in water till you no longer saw the lights. And I just truly believe in my heart of hearts. And I don't know what you all believe. And of course, you can believe whatever you want. And we respect that on this channel. As long as you keep it grounded in facts, guys, keep it real. Conspiracy theory is not the thing here. Theories, yes, we have to have theories when law enforcement doesn't do their job properly. As human beings, we have a natural curiosity towards these kind of things because we care about one another. But in my heart of hearts, I truly believe that that was Kiely's car. And, it makes sense that it was Kiely's car for so many reasons, including the timeline. But also, well, I'm going to get to that a little bit later too. So thank you so much, Charlotte Green, for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Charlotte Green says, NCSO just finally replied to my posts. The investigation is definitely done. Won't be getting any more info. Thank you so much for that information, Charlotte Green. And isn't that such a shame? Because as many of us know, and if you don't agree with this, again, that's okay. Please just be respectful here in chat, out there, when you comment on videos, when you talk to one another, and always, man, because life is hard enough. So please, 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 please just be respectful to one another, right? Yeah, infuriating. That is a word that sort of encapsulates much about this case. I lost my. Oh yeah, a lot of us knew they weren't going to put out any information, and as we're going to see tonight, and as many of you know, that's what I was saying. There's a lot of reason for an investigation to continue, so let's just highlight that. Let's see. Who did I just see here? Hi, Gepnik. Welcome. How are you doing? And Melena, welcome. How are you doing? And let me just get down to the bottom of Kunz. Tom Chat. Honey Bun, how are you doing? Honey Bun, I think it was you. Was this you or was it Honey Badger? I think it was you, Honey Bun. I saw your comment. I meant to respond to it. I had posted some short videos of some of the Facebook posts. This is regarding the Delphi case that Richard Allen's wife, Kathy, posted. We just have interest in that. Like, who is this guy? Oh my God, and the comment was, could you blur out her face? She didn't do anything wrong. So I'm sorry. I was remiss to not blur out her face in that video. If I did not, I tried to blur out her face in the videos I posted and I may have missed one. So I meant to go back and check that. So I really apologize, guys, if I didn't blur it out. And I'm actually going to go back and check after this live if I can remember, because she doesn't deserve, I'm sure she doesn't deserve whatever. Oh my God. I can't even imagine being her. Yeah. So Fred Field says, just in regards to the fire cams, and was Kiely's car recorded going into Prosser Lake and then, the headlights going out? Fred says, I think it was her car, but the cameras messed with to modify date and time, and she was not put in the lake for days after the local law enforcement finished their searches. So I'm wondering why you think this. And I know that a lot of people that think that, and hey, I believe just about anything is possible with this case because so few of the facts align with each other and the universe as we know it. a lot of people that think that, I feel, believe that because they believe that law enforcement searched Prosser Lake, that they thoroughly searched Prosser Lake, and her car wasn't there because we know it was found by Adventures with Purpose in only 55 feet offshore, where her phone last pinged, and in 14 feet of water. It seems insane that they wouldn't find it. My gosh. Oh, gosh, I have to pull. Oh, there's so many goodies for you tonight. I have to pull up a website for you here. Let's see. I'll start playing some of the video and then I'll pull it up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold it. Oh my god. It's my son's computer and it's like whack. Oh my god. Probably got hacked too, and I got hacked when I was covering this case. I don't know. Hacked into my life. It was super crazy. Oh, and the hack into my computer is currently being investigated because there was financial fraud associated with it. So I will definitely follow up and let you guys know if I ever find anything having to do with who hacked my computer. I don't know that it has to do with this case. I'm a small channel, haven't covered it super intently like some other big channels that covered it compulsively. But the timing is just super it's just too much of a coincidence, right? Too many coincidences. Just like it would have taken too many coincidences for us to believe the narrative, the going narrative about what happened to Kiely. It was too many coincidences for me to believe that my computer hack timing was a pure accident, right? Okay. Oh, hey, I found it. So let me just make sure. Placer County Sheriff's Office. Oh my gosh. I can't even. Let's see here. So we've got units and divisions. And where did I find this? Yeah, I might have to look. Well, just give me one. I'm checking here. Employment. You know what? I'll just show you what I'm looking at here as I'm perving around the Placer County Sheriff's page. Yes, I said that right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Welcome to everybody who just came in. Really great to see you. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm glad that you are probably supporting justice for Kiely. And if you're not, it's okay. You're welcome. Please just everybody be respectful to one another. Okay. All right. So, dun, dun, dun. Ooh, now I got to change my view. All right. Hide. Thank you. Okay. All right. What's going on? Hide. Sorry, not that I want to see your comment, but I want the comments down. I can't get rid of your ornaments, Scott. Whoop. Hi, RT. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. How are you doing? Hide them all. There we go. I need to make this bigger. Here. There's all these different like views, new views, I guess, on StreamYard. I guess they heard my complaints, but that's not why I was complaining about StreamYard. There's other issues. Please address them quickly. All right. So we've got, oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Things are starting to go good now. It's you guys. Your good luck. Okay. So here we have on the Placer County Sheriff's Office official webpage, we have a list of the different divisions, the unit and divisions in the sheriff's office. Okay. So we have air operations, chaplaincy, civil division, concealed weapons permits, coroner corrections, online crime reporting, crime analysis, dispatch, dive team. What? Wait a minute. Hold it. I'm going to just stop right here. I think I'm going to stop right here. Wait a minute. Hold it. Wait. Oh, one of their featured units is a dive team? That's so weird because, and we're going to hear the quotes right out of the sheriff's mouth. I was going to say something different, but I better not. They report that they're really not super proficient in dive teaming. That the reason they couldn't find Kiely Rodni's car, big car 55 feet off shore and under only 14 feet of water is because they didn't really know how to dive. Remember, they have to kind of like dig around with their hands and they don't want to mess up the mud. And they kind of just feel around with their hands, right? But here on their official website that apparently you'd imagine they created, at least they provided the information to flesh out the template of the website, right? It says dive team. Since Placer County has many lakes and rivers, the team is trained on scuba as well as swift water rescue, search and rescues, evidence collection, vehicle and vessel recoveries, and victim recoveries are the main duties of our team. I kid you not, it says that. That's why I had to, it says that. I'll let you like just digest that for a moment. Do you guys remember? I know you remember that sloppy mess that they called recovering her car from the lake? What? Hi, Esther. How are you doing? Yeah. Esther said, yes. Abysma, the team was not qualified. No. Hell's a no. Edward Schwank says, hi, Mary. How are you? Hi, Princess Megan Elsa. Hi, Justice for Aaron. Welcome, guys. How you doing? Gregory said hi to you, right? Hi, Gregory. Edward Schwank says, maybe they could have found the Titanic, with it being so much larger. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, hey, wait a minute. So let me just read this aloud again, just for fun. None of this is fun. I'm sorry. Nothing about this is fun, but for emphasis, let me read this for emphasis. Okay. Let's see. Can I make it bigger? Oh, yay. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So right about in the middle of the page. And again, this is a Placer County Sheriff's Office, divisions and units. We have listed dive team, which only makes sense. As they point out, it says, since Placer County has many lakes and rivers, the team is trained on scuba as well as swiftwater rescue, search and rescues, evidence collection, and get ready for this, vehicle and vessel recoveries and victim recoveries are the main duties of our team. What? I could just go on a rant about this forever. But you guys know, so I'm not. But listen to this. So wait a minute. How do I get out of? Oh no, I know how to get out of full tab, but I will. I'll do it. I'll get out of full tab. I think it's F11. There we go. Good thing I know my computers. All right. I can't even. Okay, you know what? Hold that thought about the dive team because I want to go in a sensible order here so things make sense for you. I promise to lay things out really well for you guys so things made sense. And then I was working with my COVID brain, which is starting to clear up. So I think I can do it now. Hi, Jade Hunter. Welcome. How are you, darling? Nice to see you. So, okay. Switching what we got in the stream. Welcome, everybody that just came in chat. So glad you're here. Get comfortable and say whatever you want. I want to hear what you say. We all want to know what you think. Just please be respectful to one another. So what I'm going to show you now is I have a video coming up about this too. It'll have more material than we're going to go over tonight because, there's a lot to look at. And I have a lot to say. But what this is the Truckee community meeting from August 12th. Yes, it says it right top. August 12th, 2022, right? And then tonight, we're also going to be listening to, because I'm just doing some focused areas to do deep dives for each video I put out or each live stream we do. So we're just looking at what the authorities said and did on August. Oh, I just sound like Kylie's mom. I'm channeling my inner Lindsay Neiman. On August 12th and August 13th. Oh man, it's crazy stuff. Let me just make sure we're in stream. I've got this in StreamYard here. I'll go back to full screen. Oh, I don't. Look at that. Okay. I'm talking about something you can't even see. All right, here we go. Good thing I checked that. All right. That's what we want. Okay. So this is a community meeting. I call it the Lost Community Meeting because I don't know about you guys. I don't know, have missed it. There's so much out there about this case. I see a lot of, footage, a lot of clips, a lot of, people uploading the entire community meeting. The one where Kiely's dad and mom both spoke, and Kiely's mom, was hanging all over Sammy Smith, and that one, right? That was earlier than the 12th. Was it the 7th or 8th? I'm not sure, guys. If anyone knows, go ahead and tell the chat. So this was on August 12th. So the party at Prosser Lake Campground was on August 5th, Friday, August 5th. And some people think otherwise. Most people think, she went into the lake late that Friday evening, like at that after midnight hour, like 12:33 per the fire cams. Or, there was a popular thinking that it was perhaps the next day because of Nick, the tow truck driver, and all he had to say. But he's kind of like going by the wayside. And we're going to do a deep dive into that too, because we have some interesting things to look at here. But let's listen for now to, oh my gosh, Angela, right? Oh my gosh, my brain is going blank a little bit. I'm sorry. Oh, well, we're not going to be listening to her. We're going to listen to, let me get to him.
The picture is on billboards through the FBI. This.
Thank you for the question. So the California Map Patrol is a statewide coordinator for the Amber Alert. And in 2002.
Okay, so what they're doing right now is they're explaining the Amber Alert and why there was no Amber Alert that went off when Kiely went missing. And, the logistics and the rules of an Amber Alert, I do understand why when they say it didn't fit the description, the scenario wasn't that would trigger an Amber Alert. Like, I get that. So they're explaining that away, but some of the things that they end up throwing in there, everything but the kitchen sink, when they're trying to explain away the Amber Alert, causes them to, double talk, to contradict themselves, and to nullify future assertions that they're going to make. But that's like all side stuff at this point. Hi, RS. Welcome. How are you doing? What I want to pay attention to is you're about to see a gentleman in orange ask a question. Now, he's like all kind of like the good kind of fired up, like the kind of fired up we are sometimes, or I am sometimes. He asks questions and really, tries to hold them to a legitimate response. Earlier on in this Truckee community meeting, August 12th, and he's just awesome. He is what I believe to be the most sensible person in Truckee, other than you, RT. You and you're tied, okay? And then we're listen to what he says. Now remember, he's already kind of gone at it with some of the officials here. He's going to follow up when they're trying to explain the Amber Alert. And then I want you to see how Sheriff Brown responds. He gets his panties all in a bundle, and then we'll discuss.
The California legislature put into law the 4 criteria required to issue the Amber Alert. Confirmation that induction occurred. The person taken was 17 years of age or younger.
Whoops.
Has a
Wait a minute.
mental or physical disability.
Why isn't that on the stream? What the heck? Hold it. I'll bring it right in the stream. It's not a big deal. Okay. Or was it in the stream? I don't know. Here.
So right now, those criteria.
Maybe StreamYard did something crazy again. New features. No. Oh no. What happened? Wait. Volume. Come on. Oops.
your missing advisory. That's
What?
the CHP issues. That goes statewide.
Give me a second, guys. Why is it? Oh, wait. Why is it?
That goes to
Oh,
all
I want the volume
communications
on.
teams.
Dude,
So
it's
all
my.
officers on the road are aware of it, of that license plate. Goes into the hot list, which any license plate reader will pick up and
Okay.
the vehicle was on the road.
Does that mean you recorded the data from that time?
I'm on my son's computer and I guess I can't figure it
Analysts that
out.
are looking.
Wait a minute. Just give me 1 second. Oh, there's the
Just say
coolest man in
they change
Truckee,
plates,
aside from
something will pop
RT.
up, is what I'm saying.
Play. Settings. Hold it. Please bear with me. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty. That's mute screen. Unmute screen. My screen's up. Okay. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to just start a new tab. No big deal.
I'm thinking out of the box, but I would assume your analyst
Weird.
record.
All right. Just gonna bring it up in a new tab. Oh, there's the dive team description again. Just give me 1 second here. Let's just take a moment. So if you do have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in chat. If you can hashtag me, or I don't know. I hate to say use all. Okay, using, you guys know this. Using all caps in chat is like, it's like yelling at someone, right? It's like, not like, don't do it unless you're trying to yell at someone. You're probably going to get timed out of a channel or whatever. If you do have like a burning question, you can try to put in caps. I'll try to see it. It's kind of hard when I'm doing all this too, but I'm not trying to not see your questions, guys. Sometimes it's just not possible to catch everything. So if you do have a question, you can try to put in caps. I will try to see it. We'll do a lot of trying together, okay? All right. Okay. Here we go. Got volume on this one. Okay. Bringing it in. Oh, Esther, awesome. Thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the Watts the Obsession family. Thank you so much. Glad that you've become a member. I am going to be this week putting out some members only material because and the reason is, and I'm just going to tell you this, so if you're not interested in this kind of material anyway, I'm just going to be very straight up about it. There are some things that can be discussed about a couple cases I'm covering right now that are a little more graphic than I would like to put on a public live stream. I'm not trying to upset people on this channel. I just kind of stick to some guidelines of where I'm going to go, where I'm not going to go, because, you know, I mean, I don't know, but it is a true crime channel, and these are true crime cases that had egregious, grotesque results and qualities. And some people want to know those details. So those are going to go up in members only format. They have to. Okay. All right. All right. Coolest guy in Truckee other than RT. Orange shirt.
So you have analysts that are looking. Let's just take it
Let
today.
me make sure I got his whole question. Okay.
The vehicle was on the road.
Does that mean you recorded the data from that time?
Correct.
Okay, so you have analysts that are looking. Let's just take a theory, they change plates, something would pop up, is what I'm saying. I'm thinking out of the box, but I would assume your analysts record everything that was going that morning, because there were like 25,000 cars going that much, but I would assume your analysts record everything.
Wait a minute. Why are you not seeing this?
Basically, are the camera photos picking up?
No, I'm just saying, is the data recorded? I mean, is it on a hard drive that they can go back and look again and again? Okay, thanks.
There we go.
data recorded?
I'm asking, so if it is recorded now, and you guys are looking at it, and we know how much footage.
Here, sorry. I'm going to go back just to where he's asking the question again because it's a proven fact. I'm a special educator and behavioral therapist. A lot of you guys know that. A lot of people will absorb information more readily and completely when they have a visual to go along with the audio. So that's the reason I'm doing this. I'm in work mode here, I guess. All right. All right, students.
Let's just take the theory they changed plates, something would pop up, is what I'm saying. I'm thinking out of the box, but I would assume your analysts record everything that was going that morning, because there were like 25,000 cars going that way.
So the question basically is that, are the cameras always picking up?
No, I'm just saying, is the data recorded? I mean, is it on a hard drive that they can go back and look again and again? Okay, thanks.
Has it been looked at?
Part of the investigation.
I'm asking, so if it is recorded, and you guys are looking at it, and we know how much footage is on the camera, get time frame that would be complete.
This is very quick. The license plate is in there. It's on and off that. So
I wasn't looking at license plate recognition, I just think it's recorded. Someone can watch video from that night and from 12 or 1 o'clock on, looking at the video, knowing that these cameras are even exit this place to be covered. Please recognize this goes through. You may not pick up the license plate recognition through the light or damage to the plate, but you can certainly recognize the car.
I think the best way to answer that is we're talking about two different types of camera systems, and any available video that could possibly, any beam on any video that could be reviewed is part of the investigation. Absolutely.
Timeline.
The review of any, like I said, as things come in, it's ongoing review. It's constant. If there's video to be reviewed.
Oops. Oh, no, I did it again. Oh, I see why that did that. Okay, my son's computer, guys.
We don't have plate readers on our back roads, on the dirt roads, but we do have them probably obviously on 80. What areas would we not have? Are they on 89 north? Would they be in that direction without being picked up? What areas?
Now let's just observe the fact that all these questions that are being asked right now are so super legitimate, and one would think, a reasonable person, a logical person would think that these ideas that these community members are throwing out at the Truckee community meeting that law enforcement is holding for them, they're good ideas. You'd think that it just might help find Kiely. Of course, you're going to want to look at the camera footage in the highways surrounding the area where she was last pinged, where she was last seen, where her vehicle ended up being found, but not by these investigators. No. It makes sense that you would want to look at the highway camera footage surrounding that area and all of it, right? To see if there was anything that would give you an indication of where Kiely was. Because keep in mind, guys, that this community meeting took place on August 12th, and Kiely was last seen around midnight on August 5th. We're over a week Kiely missing, right? Or about a week of Kiely missing, okay? So the fact that community members are asking these questions and essentially, questioning if law enforcement has done this, or maybe thinking that they are actually giving them a pretty good suggestion because obviously they haven't done enough. She's not there. We don't know where she is. This is all very reasonable. But if you're Sheriff Brown, you're going to lose your shizzle in a minute here.
Sam Brown again, with that County Sheriff's Office. I know everybody's got a lot of interest in the video and the license plate readers and all those things. Every time we talk about it, because we've been talking about it at all the meetings, I don't know that you can completely even understand the task of reviewing the video you're talking about, plus the video that we consider to be relevant that we're obtaining on a regular basis. One single cell phone can contain about 256, if not 500 gigabytes of information. information, I don't know that you understand the grasp of that. The other thing I would throw on is that we literally sent law enforcement from gas station to gas station, any store location that we thought had a video camera of some sort, which is how we ended up with some of our surveillance video that's here. And so, yeah, I would say every effort to relevant information that we put at a higher priority is being reviewed. To sit and watch a camera on I-80 to see a vehicle go by at 65, maybe more miles per hour is almost an unsurmountable task, because now you're talking about not watching it at full speed. You're talking about slowing that down and sitting there and watching it. You're not talking about hours, you're talking about days, weeks, maybe even months for a single video camera. And
Okay,
really,
first,
that doesn't seem
First of all, what he's just said is not true. So he's saying, if you have to watch like 24 hours of these video cameras on the highway to see if you're going to get any indicator of where Kiely is, then you guys haven't found her in a week. That's going to take, it's insurmountable. It's going to take months and months and months. Why is it going to take months and months and months? There's 24 hours in a day. If you have a couple people assigned, it's 3 people, since they can't stay up around the clock watching this stuff. 3 people, let's say, 4 people. 5 people even. 6 divided by 4. By 24 divided by 4 is 6. It's not an insurmountable task. What are you talking about? But hold it. We're going to hop over to the Placer County Sheriff's press conference that took place just the very next day. Just wait a minute. Now, just remember how Sheriff Sam Brown is telling everyone that your suggestions are, I'm kind of snubbing them and turning up my nose because we've already thought of them. But anyway, it's an insurmountable task. We did not have the manpower, right? Okay, so here. Gotta find it. Oh, well, here he is in all his glory. Can't stand this man. But yeah. That's not true. I have exact, precise coordinates, global position coordinates from some of you know. I don't know. Those of you who just joined this channel with the Kiely Rodni case might not have heard all of my babbling in the Chris Watts case and all the cell phone data. I used to be a site acquisition representative. I worked for a firm, did a lot of work with, the radio frequency experts. I'd have to work out all the details to either build a new tower, which we don't really do anymore because the company's collate, because you can only have so many cell towers, right? And they all have to be at a certain elevation, like the ideal elevation is like 140 to 190 feet. It's called line of sight. You want it to all line up so they can talk to each other. Anyway, it's going to get really nerdy if I keep going, but so they co-locate on each other. So really now you just add antennas to existing towers, or if like you're in the city, to the side of a building or something. So anyhow, the people that were the founder that opened the firm or whatever, one of them is a vice president of Verizon, a very important vice president of Verizon. She is no longer. And the other one is just a good friend of mine who's brilliant, has been doing this forever. So I was going to give to, I haven't talked about this yet, CCTV, great channel. Please check her out. She's awesome. I think that she is, doing among the best coverage on the Kiely Rodni case. She's very factual. She doesn't present anything that's not fact. She shows people, what's going on in this area, all of these places that, we're seeing as we're watching the news coverage or the YouTube coverage, or, she goes there and shows you like, what's up? Like, what is this really like? How far are these locations from one another? Really? Hey, let me show you, because the perspective that you gain from watching this on YouTube or television or whatever is really skewed. Sometimes just because that's the nature of watching something that's not, you're not there in living color. And sometimes, that might be on purpose. Anyway, I was going to give this information to CCTV since she's located right there, to go check some things out. I think I was told that he had it and he shared the coordinates and some other things with me on, it had to be in the October right around October 10th. I could go back in my email and my texts and my calls and look, but I'm not going to do that right now. If you're interested, or maybe in a successive stream, we'll talk about it. And then his partner, who's the woman who is the vice president of Verizon, all he told me, he got very like quiet about it and just said, she told me that I need to wait till at least October 21st. Now, this was during the time when I was really COVIDed. So I don't know that. And I think that was right around the time when the coroner's report was actually released, right? I don't know the exact date of that, to be honest. And then after that, I was asked to not talk about it yet. And I haven't heard back, and I don't want to push it because he's a good friend of mine. And, you know, I don't know why. And I just, from the conversations that we've had, understand that I'm not going to push it because I'm not going to ruin my friendship over it. Anyhow, if he can get the exact global position coordinates of where that phone last pinged, so can Sam Brown. Back to Sam Brown.
Like that's as thorough an answer as everybody wants to hear, but we're all humans and we're people. And we're taking video as a priority. How do we move that through? What's the best that we can do
Oops.
with it?
I'm sorry. I started playing the wrong thing. I started playing the wrong one. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. I went back to the community meeting. So, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't even know if I played the right video. Hold it. Darn StreamYard in my son's computer. Hi, Cece. Hi, Jody. How are you doing? Hi, guys. Welcome. Let me make sure. I'm going to bring the August 13th press conference into the stream. And just, if you're listening to it for a second time, I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure you actually heard that. If what I was commenting on made no sense to you, it's because I was showing you the wrong thing in the last minute or so of Sam Brown talking. But here we go. Yeah. Did you guys see this yet? Did I put this up yet? Okay, I'm just going to play it. Sorry, guys. All right, so I have to go back a little bit now. Sam Brown, Sam Brown. What? Sam Brown. Sam Brown. Incompetent Sam Brown. Okay.
Yeah, the ping for the data points and everything were near the water. It's hard to
Okay,
tell.
thank you. Well, here you go. This is what I was talking about. I'm sorry, guys.
On land, it wasn't.
That's what I was told, is that it was near the water and searches took place near that vicinity. Are those going to continue?
Yeah, today we have 226 searchers. Pretty astronomical
Okay.
number. I think.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold there. We have 226 searchers, a pretty astronomical number. Sorry. All right. August 13th, press conference. Note that. Sam Brown just said, yeah, we have 226 searchers, a pretty astronomical number. Okay. But wait a minute, Sam. Wait a minute, Sam. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Sam. Wait a minute. I got to click the other video on StreamYard, Sam. Wait a minute. But Sam, just yesterday at the Truckee community gathering on August 12th, you said, back a little.
Of reviewing the video you're talking about, plus the video that we consider to be relevant that we're obtaining on a regular basis. One single cell phone can contain about.
Oops. Where's Sam? Where's my boy Sam? Where's my boy Sam? Okay.
Sam Brown again, Nevada County Sheriff's Office. I know everybody's got a lot of interest in the video and the license plate readers and all those things. Every time we talk about it, because we've been talking about it at all the meetings, I don't know that you can completely even understand the task of reviewing the video you're talking about.
Talking down to the people of Truckee, just like a lot of people in Truckee do.
Plus
Sorry.
the video that we consider to be relevant that we're obtaining on a regular basis. One single cell phone can contain about 256, if not 500 gigabytes of information. I don't really understand the grasp of that. The other thing I would throw on
Once again, talking down to the people.
is that we literally sent law enforcement from gas station to gas station. Any store location that we thought had a video camera of some sort, which is how we ended up with some of our surveillance video that's here. And so, yeah, I would say every effort So relevant information that we put at a higher priority is being reviewed. To sit and watch a camera on I-80 to see a vehicle go by at 65, maybe more miles per hour is almost an unsurmountable task, because now you're talking about not watching it at full speed. You're talking about slowing that down and sitting there watching it. You're not.
What insurmountable task? What? Wait, hold it. Wait, what? Let me hear that again. I'm not clear on that, Sam, because wait a minute. What?
The other thing I would throw on is that we literally sent law enforcement from some of our surveillance video that's here. And so, yeah, I would say every effort to relevant information that we put at a higher priority is being reviewed. To sit and watch a camera on I-80 to see a vehicle go by at 65, maybe more miles per hour is almost an unsurmountable task, because now you're talking about not watching it at full speed. You're talking about slowing that down and sitting there watching it. You're not talking about hours. You're talking about days, weeks, maybe even months for a single video camera.
Well, you know what, Sam? Wait a minute. First of all, your math sucks because I don't know where you get months from. Second of all, yeah, you're law enforcement. That's exactly what we expect you to do when a 16-year-old girl is missing for over a week in your county when you're overseeing the investigation, sucka. So now remember what he just said. Let's go back to the August 13th press conference and we'll listen to a little more of that. This is so enraging, isn't it? Obviously is for me. Jeez. Yeah, Marlena, but if it were your daughter, it'd be no problem, right? Right, exactly. What happened to the community? It's the community's daughter. It is your daughter, Sam. It's the community's daughter, Kiely is. You know what? Screw that. All of these people betrayed her as far as I'm concerned. See, he goes blab in his mouth again.
Pretty astronomical number.
What? Wait. What's an astronomical number? Because I think you just said that watching the highway cameras to see if Kiely was in a car and left the area so you'd know where to find her was insurmountable. But wait, then the next day, what did you say again?
Told us that it was near the water and searches took place near that vicinity. Are these gonna continue?
Yeah, today we have 226 searchers, pretty astronomical number. I think the team at the search and rescue, they deployed out all 226 members within about an hour. And so,
well, wait a minute, Sam. I got an idea. Wait a minute, Sam. Hold up. I got an idea. I wish if I could turn back time. How about you take one of those 226 searchers, which you're obviously implying, and they're going to say things in this same press conference that are going to further imply in a kind of nasty way that it's too many people. Why don't you sit some of them down in front of a monitor and have them review the highway cameras that you just can't be bothered to look at when a 16-year-old girl in your county is one of the citizens that you've taken an oath to protect and serve, but you can't be bothered by watching the security cameras. Are you fucking serious?
beat on its own. They've extensively been planning and prepping overnight so that when people get here, we're ready to roll. The area has been walked, driven, flown, grid searched. They're getting into tighter grid searching to, at this point, we're looking for small and anything evidence-wise, as opposed to cars, people, things of that nature, even phones. We're trying to make it even tighter. We had swimmers we announced the other day that actually did surface swimming, so we don't want to disturb the water even underneath because that can cause its own problems.
Okay, now this whole bit, oh my God, there's just so much here. This whole bit about, and he's going to go on and on about this. If you've heard this before, he's about to say some really stupid stuff. Like they're going to feel around with their hands. They've got scuba gear on, but they got to feel around with their hands and they don't want to disturb the mud in the bottom of the lake. Are you kidding me? Have you ever heard AWP or any other dive search team talk about like that? Like we have to go dive to recover, a person who lost their life and we're going to recover their remains so they can rest in peace and their family can be at peace and start to have some semblance of whatever it is they need. I don't like the word closure, right? They're not complaining about stirring up the mud. Like, what is this guy talking about?
The divers have been deployed at this point as well to assist in the search, and it's been pretty thorough overall. But yeah, we continue to look for that item as well. Just because it was last pinged there, that doesn't mean that that's where the phone stopped being. There's lots of reasons.
Okay, so he just said he kind of swallowed his words. If you didn't hear him, he said just because the phone last pinged there doesn't mean that's where the phone stopped pinging. No, Sam, actually, the phone last pinged there, so that means that's where the phone stopped pinging. Imagine that, idiot.
Or data points could be lost.
Could you tell us what body of water and what time that last ping was?
The Prosser Lake is where we're focused on right now. But again, that doesn't mean that that's the last location. So.
But no, it does mean that's the last location. Because he didn't answer her question, and he doubles down on that's not the last location. It is the last location. If you're looking at the cell phone evidence, which is generally very strong evidence in a missing persons case, then that is the last location. It's also the last location where Kiely was seen, where Kiely was known to talk to anybody, where Kiely was known to exist. That is the last location, period. Full stop, end of story. What is he doing here?
I think the last location known that we've put out, from I think day one was around 12:30 in the morning.
Well, Sam, let me just tell you, that's not the last location. That's the time. But anyhow, that's a small detail.
There was, this morning, I was out by Prosser and there was a dive team from Alameda. But just a few feet to the side, there were people recreating and going by in a canoe. Are you not afraid about them disturbing any possible evidence that could be there?
Yeah, you balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover up on
what?
area and ground and
What-
things like that.
What
So
did he say? I know we already talked about this, but this is an oldie but a goodie, and like the not good sense of the word, right? Wait, what'd you just say, Sam? I think you just tripped over your words again. I know that's like one of your things, but this was a pretty big trip.
off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover up
Whoops.
to cover like certain area and
Cover up on.
things like that. So
Yeah.
there's always a
He just said to cover up on and then repeated to cover up on. Flying idiot. I lost my place here. Let's see. See where we're at. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No, come back. Come back. Whoa, what happened here? Okay. All right.
the overhead team at the search and rescue. They deployed out all 226 members within about an hour. And so that's a pretty big feat on its own. They've extensively been planning and prepping overnight so that when people get here, we're ready to roll.
But not planning well enough because they didn't assign any people to watch that highway security camera footage.
The area has been walked, driven, flown, grid searched. They're getting into tighter grid searching to, at this point, we're looking for small and anything evidence-wise, as opposed to...
Sorry, Sam. I have a much better question than any information you're offering. Excuse me. I'm going to go take that question. So, hi there, Crime and Crochet. How are you doing? Says, here in the UK, we have ANPR, automatic number plate recognition cameras. So if a vehicle is missing or stolen, it will trigger and tell police where to search. Is that not a thing in the US? No, that is a thing in the US. Thank you. I love this question. Thank you so much. It's a thing in the US. It's also a thing in the US that you can read plates and you can get identified information of cars even when they are traveling down a highway, contrary to what Sam Brown told us a little while ago. I really appreciate that question. It's an important point that needs to be made. Thank you. No, I wasn't saying 3 people could complete. Oh, I didn't realize how far back I am. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't saying 3 people could complete that single work day. And I remember I went up to 6. So I said they had 6 people total who are solely assigned to the job of looking at those cameras, then it's not an insurmountable task, right? I don't know. Maybe it's 12 people. I don't know what the freaking number is, but there's a number of people that could do it. Insurmountable is not the word. Doable is the word, right? You know, so I gotcha. And Esther, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it, sweetheart. Thank you. And I love it when you're in chat. She always has a lot to say and offer. Thank you, Esther. All right, let me get back to not 20 minutes behind. Sorry. I went back up to grab the super sticker and forgot that I did that. Oh my gosh. All right, wait. Let's listen to a little more Sam. He's not entertaining, but he's interesting.
Cars, people, things of that nature, even phones. We're trying to make it even tighter. We had swimmers we announced the other day that actually did surface swimming, so we don't want to disturb the water even underneath, because that can cause its own problems. And divers have been deployed at this point as well to assist in the search, and it's been pretty thorough overall. But yeah, we continue to look for that item as well. Just because it was last pinged there, that doesn't mean that that's where the phone stopped being. There's lots of reasons of why.
No, but that doesn't mean just that.
Or data
Great.
files could be lost.
Great comment, Blind Fury. Yes, exactly.
The Prospect Lake is where we're focused on right now. But again, that doesn't mean that that's the last location. So.
Yes, it does.
I think the last location known that we've put out, from I think day one is around 12:30 in the morning.
Wasn't the question, idiot?
It was this morning, I was out by Prosser and there was a dive team from Alameda. But just a few feet to the side, there were people recreating and people muddy canoe. Are you not afraid about them disturbing any possible evidence that could be there?
Yeah, you balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover like certain area and ground and things like that. So
What's up with that, guys? What do you think of that in chat? Or, I mean, if anyone wants to come up here and on panel and talk as well, you're more than welcome to. I can drop the link. How in hell does he accidentally say cover up? Now, as I said in the beginning of the stream, and welcome to all of you that have come in since, I'm so glad you're here. I'm not big on conspiracy theories at all. I like to stay tight to the facts, consider the facts. Some degree of speculation is necessary when you're trying to determine what happened when law enforcement does not do their job, when they do not put forth the proper information to solve a crime, and they themselves certainly sure as hell can't solve a crime. There's some degree of speculation, but I believe speculation really needs to be limited. The tighter you stay to the facts that are known, the better the chance you're going to arrive at a place of truth and justice for Kiely in this case. And that is the reason, right? So yeah, speculation to a minimum. But why, and how does this dude say cover up when he's talking about the boat ramp at Prosser Lake? How does that happen?
on areas, we closed off the boat ramp at one point.
Well, let's give it a context here.
You balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off at one point in time to cover like certain area and ground and things like that. So there's always a concern, but we also don't have like a, hey, this is the area.
Okay, you should have a, hey, this is the area, because we know, oh my God, from the evidence, from the facts that they had at that time, there was a known area. There was clearly a known area. Last ping, last sighting, last communication, last talk to, right? there's a known area. It's not a freaking mystery. Now, are we supposed to believe that it's just a coincidence that you just said that you're focusing the search in Prosser Lake, where, by the way, did I tell you? Did you know Kylie's car was found 55 feet off the shore, where the same spot where her phone last pinged? And yes, Sam, where her phone last pings is where her phone last pings. Such a stupid statement. So they obviously knew that was the area. And he's telling us that in a million different ways, yet he's saying in plain terms, we don't have like a definitive area where we presume she last was. How can they sleep at night? That's such a good question, right? Yeah, and RT pointed out that the dude in like kind of blue in the middle there that's kind of looking at Sam Brown all like, oh, somebody pointed out that he raises his eyebrows when Sam Brown says cover up a few times. He looks a little concerned maybe. RT pointed out that is the Truckee police chief. So, thank you, Jody is cool. Thank you so much. Great work, Cal, in this case. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate you, my darling. Jody is cool, and I go way back. She's awesome. Thank you so much, darling. So here, let me just play that again so you can see the Truckee police chief, the dude in the dark color in the middle. Watch him kind of react.
Don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times.
Whoops. So watch. He's about to say the cover up.
Where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one point in time to cover like.
Oops. Uh-oh. They're all a little like, uh-oh, right? Whoopsie, Sam. Mrs. Kelly says, I guarantee they are going by Sammy saying last spoke to her at 12:36. So they were saying not last location at 12:33. Never should have listened to this girl. They based an entire investigation around. Touche. Right. Yeah. I mean, perhaps that is why he's trying to refute what law enforcement agencies around the world know to be true, and that is where there's a last ping, that's where there's a last ping. I mean, he literally just said, just because there was a last ping doesn't mean that's where the phone last pinged. My God, what are you talking about? Don't go missing in Truckee, please. Stamos, don't go missing in Truckee. Oh my God. Watch the Three Stooges reactions. Welcome, Lissa. How are you doing? Hi, Aaron on the side of caution. Welcome. How are you doing? Red Flag City. I said hello to you, right, Jade? Hi, Jade. How are you? Yeah, and Capricious TR asked a really good question. How much money was given to these agencies to do the investigation? Now, as I said, and I said again, I'm not into conspiracy theories. I like to stay tight to the facts. And there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there. And many of them, I'm just going to tell it like it is. I'm grossed out by them. There's not evidence to substantiate many of them. I have lost some respect for channels that I used to like and respect and support because, they're really like just flying off the handle with these theories that are not based in fact. But back to Capricious TR asking how much money was given to these agencies for this investigation. And we know it's in the millions of dollars for sure. How much is it exactly? I have no idea. One of the theories is, they were, pocketing this money gladly. Maybe it wasn't like, oh, hey, let's make this girl go missing so we can stage a fake investigation, so we can pocket all this money that's going to be given to us to complete the investigation, right? I don't think it was just quite like that, but I am starting to think that all of the money that they received for the purpose of investigating the Kiely Rodni going missing and then her death, from the slop we are seeing here, this is cheap stuff. This is not like first class, high quality work, right? There is no way that they were putting all of that money into resources to investigate what happened to Kiely Rodni. And my God, what the hell's your problem? This is her community. Remember Mag saying that we're going to find her with the help of our community and only our community, right? And anyone who's not part of the community, Lindsay Neiman, Kylie's mom says, needs to go get a hobby, right? Well, I am not seeing evidence. I'm not seeing indicators of Kiely Rodni's own community dedicating themselves to finding where she was and then what happened to her. Now, remember, after all, she is the community's daughter. I mean, what would you do for your own child to find them or to know what happened to them so they can have justice, so you can have a sense of even a little bit of peace knowing that you did what you needed to do to bring whomever caused the death of your child to justice? I mean, you do anything, right? I would. I know you would. Normal people, even kind of normal people with half, a quarter, an eighth, a third of the heart, like the Grinch or whatever, would go to the ends of the earth, right? But they just can't be bothered. No, they can't be bothered. So Travacado with Christy Faye, welcome. How are you doing, darling? Says, I believe Amber Alerts are done if there is a known abduction, right? Like it's usually when they know a person has taken the child. Yes, or they have a strong suspicion of, because there's evidence to indicate that, right? And also there must be a vehicle involved. Okay, so that's the other component. So here, there were two things that didn't have enough certainty to raise the disappearance of Kiely to the level of triggering an Amber Alert. Maybe we need to rethink the whole Amber Alert system, right? I think we do, personally. They couldn't say for certain that somebody took her. If somebody did take her, they certainly wouldn't have known who that was. There was no evidence indicating anyone, right, had taken her. And then they also, didn't have any evidence to indicate that, there was a car involved in her. It would be really a kidnapping, right? So, yeah. So RT says the boat ramp is not where she is at all, much further away. The boat ramp isn't where she is at all, much further away. Okay, so thinking about that, I just listened to him bumble over himself just one more time. Then I'm going to get over it, and I'm going to let you get over it.
Very not afraid about having to disturb any possible evidence that could be there.
Yeah, you balance this, shut everybody out, and we don't have evidence to say that there's something that we're going to locate. Are you better off having more eyes in the area or not? There's times where we have shut down areas. We closed off the boat ramp at one time to cover like certain area and ground and things like that. So there's always a concern, but we also don't have like hey, this is the area. And so at what point do you cut off the entire forest service and things of that nature? So I think we've been reasonable with the area. Sometimes we've had to put in stop gaps to prevent people from moving around, but we do that based off of information. More people around gives us information, but they've been recreating throughout that lake since long before. And so it is tough. A diving operation like that is really almost like you're going into the water blind, and they're basically searching with hands.
What?
Once you start maneuvering the ground, it's like going through mud. So.
Oh, yeah. Dude says, let me just listen to this again. Oh my God. Thanks, Kev.
So I think we've been reasonable with the areas and times we've had to put in stop gaps to prevent people from moving around, but we do that based off of information. More people around gives us information, but they've been recreating throughout since long before, and so it is tough. A diving operation like that is really almost like you're going into the water blind, and they're basically searching with hands, because once you start maneuvering the ground, it's like going through mud. So These are tough operations, and there is no right answer for everything. But that's
So these scuba divers, they're just feeling around with their hands. They're feeling around with their hands. Scuba gear, it's not really like a thing. They're just feeling around with the hands. Let's see. Oh, hold it. What I was trying to bring back up is, yes. Just one moment. So they're scuba divers, don't want to disrupt the mud. They're just feeling around with their hands. Damn, this computer's slow. I think my kid needs to update his something else computer because it is slow. So what I'm doing is going back to the the Placer County the sheriff's office page that highlights their awesome dive team, their well-trained dive team, and their feature of, oh, here we go, units and divisions, finally. And it's these guys who are just feeling around with their hands. Freaking craziness. So crazy. Yeah. Hi, Ralph. Welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, we've watched the Tony Dodge case, and Sammy does mess up. I uploaded a video, I don't know, maybe like a couple weeks ago now, where I'm a behavioral therapist, and I went through some of the known indicators, the proven evidence-based indicators of somebody lying based on, I just focus on the movement of their eyes. There's several of them, but to do a video that points all of them out would be really complicated. So I just focus on the movement of the eyes. So Ralph, you might want to check that out. A lot of it focuses on that Tony Dodge video, and yeah. Now, I do know that the behavioral panel, who, I watch them occasionally, being like a behavioral therapist who's, my methodology is behavioral analysis. You think I watch them all the time. I don't, because, well, I just don't get to watch things a lot because I'm busy with my job and my YouTube and my kid and all my bunnies, just life. So I often agree with them, with their, conclusion, their big overarching conclusion, the behavior panel. It seems they definitely do know what they're talking about. I mean, I'm just going to say everybody on there is more experienced than I am. That is true. Sometimes I do not agree with them, and, maybe they're right, I'm wrong. Because again, they're more experienced than I am, but I am experienced. But, I think that, well, I don't know for sure. I assume that they're more experienced than I am. Oops. Hold on. Let me plug my mic back in so I don't. Oh no, that was okay. Never mind. But they did eventually, just recently, do a analysis of Sammy, and it was that Tony Dodge interview. And before I watched it, people were telling me, "Oh my God, can you believe that the behavior panel concluded that Sammy Smith was telling the truth, that there was no deception, along those lines." That's what people were commenting back to me. When I watched it, I did hear a little bit of that, particularly from the guy that seemed to be leading the conversation. But then some of the other behavioral analysts who chimed in and commented, now they oftentimes agree with one another. They eventually come to a consensus, not always, but oftentimes on that channel. It's a YouTube channel. Go check it out. It is a good one, usually. It's the behavior panel. It's called behavior panel. But at least two people of the four on that panel, I was hearing them, with a dissent from the dude who was kind of leading the conversation. They were saying things. They were like, well, we're going to look at that later. And if it wasn't in this context that dude just provided you, which he kind of just made up, those eye movements would indicate deception. So I did not take away from that the entire behavior panel was saying that Sammy Smith was truthful, that there was no deception. I didn't take away from that at all. So everyone who hears that, I just want you to know that is not exactly the case. And that to me was just an example that I witnessed of, something a narrative starting on YouTube, and it goes around and it walks down the streets of YouTube, those mean streets of YouTube, and it spreads like wildfire, even if it ain't true, right? Okay, so Sheriff Sam Brown was just talking about the divers, getting into that mud in that silly little lake that somebody pointed out that AWP said was crystal clear. And I also know that the people that I do know in that area, including CCTV, who I recommend you go check her out for sure, who has shown us a lot of the things that, we see in the footage of the Kiely Rodni case and explains like what's up there so we can all understand better with that, kind of spatial context. Everyone says that that lake at that time of year is very clear. So kicking up this mud in the bottom of the lake, I don't even know what he's talking about. And also, even if there were an issue of mud at the bottom of the lake, because, there is something like mud at the bottom of the lake, right? But even if there was an issue of it mucking up the waters or whatever, right here on the Placer County Sheriff's Office webpage, it says, whoops, I wasn't showing you the right spot. Oh, no, I am. No, I'm not. No, I am. No, I'm not. All right. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. It says dive team. Since Placer County has many lakes and rivers, the team is trained on scuba as well as swiftwater rescue. Search and rescues, evidence collection, vehicle and vessel recoveries, and victim recoveries are the main duties of the team. Oh, really? Well, if that's the case, if their dive team is that highly trained and skilled, as it says or advertises, however you want to look at it, on their very own website, the Placer County Sheriff's Office, then, my friends, it doesn't seem sensible that Sam Brown would have to worry about this.
The ground, it's like going, that is really almost like you're going into the water blind, and they're basically searching with hands, because once you start maneuvering the ground, it's like going through mud. So these are tough operations, and there is no right answer for everything. But
Oh my God. I'm going to play that one more time, just those few seconds. Watch dude with red hair closest to Sam Brown when Sam Brown is spitting this knowledge.
an operation like that is really almost
Watch him.
a diving operation like that is really almost like you're going into the water blind, and they're basically searching with hands, because once you start,
They're searching with what? Hands? Truckee police chief is like, dude, why am I not talking?
maneuvering the ground,
I can't believe this guy. Look at them. They're both like, I cannot believe it.
it's like going through mud. So these are tough operations, and there is no right answer for everything. But that's always a concern. Everything is.
Yeah, tough operations in pristine, crystal clear water, pure, very pure, crystal clear, pristine water in the end of August in California. Good weather, decent climate in that area recently. Tell me if I'm wrong, Truckees. And he's worried about the mud and the scuba divers feeling around with their hands.
The deepest point for Prosser that I was told was 57 feet.
Do you have divers out there today and swimmers today?
No, we're worried about the mud.
Today, I don't know if they have swimmers out today. Swimmers was a precaution so that we could ensure, to clarify, because there's so many levels to this. We had boats, we had side sonars, which allow you to see things, certain types of fish finders, which can go lower into the water.
Wait a minute. You had boats and sonars and sights and fishing things, and you got to worry about the mud then, Sam. What are you talking about?
But at that point, we still hadn't touched the ground or anything like that.
He's so afraid of touching the ground. It's going to mess up his manicure. What is going on with this man?
So swimmers on the surface allowed to
They've got to stay on the surface. We don't want to go into the mud.
masks and see things without murking up the water.
We don't want to see things with our scuba masks and our scuba gear that can allow you to see anything underwater because it's high-tech scuba gear that we spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on. This is crazy stuff.
Just to cover if there's something you could see, because once you touch the ground, you could potentially have all that earth come back up over any kind of evidentiary item. So
Thank you,
that
Yarn
was
and
the last,
Mittens.
case scenario.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Because
Gosh, I got to go with
for
current
the most
times.
part, you could go in over and over and over again, but potentially you get one shot at it. So trying to use a phased approach that makes the most sense and gets us to where we want to be.
My apologies, I'm new to the area. How large is that lake?
Why do you get one shot at it? Can somebody explain to me what he is talking about? Why do you get one shot at diving and recovering Kiely Rodni's car and Kiely Rodni? Why is it one freaking shot? What is he talking about? Listen to that one shot bit again. What is he talking about? This little section of this freaking press conference makes me crazy, obviously.
Potentially have all that earth come back up over any kind of evidentiary item. So divers were the last case scenario in the attempt, because for the most part, you could go in over and over and over again, but potentially you get one shot at it. So trying to use a phased approach that makes the most sense and gets us to where we want to be.
And my apologies, I'm new to the area. How large is that lake?
I don't know. It's not a very big lake overall. It's a man-made reservoir.
Hi, Michelle. How are you doing, sweetheart? Hi, allegedly. Hi, Andrew White. Welcome. Hi, on the case with Janine. I'm sorry, Jeannie. I'm sorry, honey. Farnsworth.
There's a lot of teams out there, so I don't know specifically. I know Alameda was mentioned. I don't know which all teams were brought in, simply because they all.
Well, there's a lot of teams out there. We've got this really highly trained and skilled dive team. And you know what? There's a lot of other teams out there too. So why, first of all, are they all feeling with their hands? Why are they feeling with their hands, Sam? Please tell me, why are they feeling with their hands? There's so many of them. They're so skilled. Why are they feeling with their hands? And why is it a one-shot deal, according to you? A one-shot deal?
Showing up today, and then some have been added, but I can tell you that numerous agencies from all over California are coming up to assist. 226 searchers is a pretty large number. We're expecting the same tomorrow.
Hey, CNI family, how are you doing?
Depending, it all depends on coverage, right? We want to use our resources for the best.
Been here for 20 minutes. I can't keep up with chat.
Checking, but we have to have purpose and reason for what we're using our searchers for.
Are you also calling on the public to help in these land searches, maybe terrain searches, or is it just law enforcement right now?
Our searchers are volunteers, the majority of them, but they also go through a training. So Cali West has a typing system. So when the sheriff's office is going to utilize searchers for a specific purpose, they have to be trained up. They have to have all these things, and they're covered under what's called a disaster service worker. So workers' comp is picked up by the state in case of things that could go wrong, or injuries and whatnot, where we wouldn't be able to supply that for people in the public. And so we don't give direction.
Dude,
but,
what is
we
he
also
talking
provide
about?
that
Workers'
system
comp and
called
shit.
SOPO, which is-
Where is this? How is this appropriate? The scuba divers, they're all feeling around with their hands. It's a one-shot deal, and some of them have workers' comp and some of them don't. Are you serious?
a free app that anybody can download, but we've also
It's a free app.
included a map that is here locally
And we got a map.
at the family's trailer here in the rec yard or the rec center parking lot. It has a map, QR code, and then people can see where other people have searched and also contribute to the tracks.
We're going to take 2 more questions and then we're going to wrap up the press conference.
Yeah, you better. You better, Angie girl. You better.
Hours that are being put into this and the amount of people that are searching for 1 week now today. So how much longer can we expect this? It's been very encouraging, but at some point, is there going to be a drop?
At least I'll speak to the investigation side. And that is that as long as tips are coming in, we're going to continue that effort. And we'll continue that effort as long as we can. And obviously, if a tip pans out and leads us in a direction, we're going to devote resources to that. So, I'm just speaking to the investigation side of the house. This will continue if it's unsolved as long as it goes, and we'll continue to dedicate resources to it.
Well, it's been a week, and we know there's a lot of people out there, and you're saying you won't get in trouble if you come forward. But what can you say to somebody who might know something or has seen something after a week and they haven't come forward yet, there's a huge reward. So what is it that we can say to get someone to come forward who might have that important information?
I would
Wait,
just
wait, oh, wait,
encourage
hold
them
right
to
here.
do
I
so.
want to, oh, you encourage them to do so? Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. Let's focus for a moment here, guys. Now look at Sheriff. What's her name? Angie in the background. She looks she looks confounded right now. And the Truckee police chief just looks ashamed. And Sam Brown is like, I don't know. He looks like he just did a lot of push-ups, but this is not good, guys. Wait. Let's just listen to the question and answer again. Question and answer. Let's do it.
Who might know something or has seen something after a week and they haven't come forward yet, there's a huge reward. So what is it that we can say to get someone to come forward who might have that important information?
What is it that we can say to get someone that might come forward and has that important information? That's a great question. And I think this is a good answer.
Just encourage them to do so and do the right
Yeah.
thing. You know, we've received over 700 tips that
Over
we,
one.
As happens in a murder investigation.
1,000.
well,
Oh, thank you for that. It's actually over 1,000.
over 1,000 tips.
I can't stand that woman.
But 700 and I believe 20 that have been entered and received, and we are following up on leads. And so that obviously takes resources to do.
Yep, obviously, it takes resources to do. Those resources are given to you to do the investigation, to use the resources to find Kiely. Why do they talk about it like it's a big deal, like they're going out of their way, like they're asking to do more than is fair? You're fucking law enforcement. Now, hold it. Wait a minute. Now, she said, what can we do to encourage the people that might have that information that's important to, come out and, tell us about it? And he says, well, let's encourage them. Okay, so one day earlier, getting in that time traveling machine, let's go back one day earlier to August 12th at the forgotten Truckee community meeting about finding Kiely Rodni. And we're going to hear something a little different, maybe. Maddening. John Courtney says, nothing to see here, folks. Yes, that's exactly what they want. Oops, start for that. Thank you for everyone who has come into chat here recently. I'm glad that you're here. Everyone, just be respectful in the discussion. On this channel, we allow a wide, vast range of opinions and thoughts. And it's all good. We're human beings. We have different experiences. We're going to come to different conclusions. I allow that here, have from the start. Don't ever erase comments, even if they're really nasty about me, unless they're absolutely hateful and vile, or chats or whatever. Don't block people from my channel. I have 22,000 subscribers. There's 11 people blocked, and it was a specific incident with whatever. So I don't want to go into it. All we ask, just please be respectful to one another, to the victims and to the victims' families. Thank you. Oh, I see what. Okay. No, add. Weird. Okay, here it is. Just coming up. See, I'm just reading a couple chats while we're waiting. Yeah, the community's daughter, right? Come on. I left my good computer at home, so I tried to get on the hacked computer, and it didn't work so well. So I had to borrow my son's computer, and I don't know what he's done to it, but this is terrific. Or it's just people not wanting us to talk about this case. Possible? It's possible. I don't go to that as my, I don't think that's the obvious answer, but more and more as time goes on, I do believe it's possible. Discord. Go away, Discord. That's the problem. Close Discord.
How do they make Starbursts taste so juicy?
Why is there an ad? I have YouTube Premium.
I don't know, but you just asked the whole universe.
Humans are asking for juice. And we are the juice.
We're just going to have to live through this ad.
Starburst, unexplainably juicy.
Oh, my son doesn't. Okay, I see.
Everything that was going that morning, because there were like 25,000.
Okay, so let's just watch Sheriff Sam Brown get his pain song bundle again. And then it's going to go right into the question. It's going to follow up on the idea of, how do we encourage or not people to come out and tell us what they know if they have critical information, okay?
So the question basically is are the cameras always picking up?
No, I'm just saying, is the data recorded? I mean, is it?
I'm sorry, I can't go through that again. It makes me too angry. I'm sorry. Okay, we're just going to go to the follow-up question. I have to go to sleep pretty soon. I'll get all worked up. Okay, here we go. Do not clap for him. That was just Sam Brown talking. Do not. Oops. Okay, so here it is.
Thank you. My piece kind of comes to the social media side, and I would like to know how we as a community in Truckee and North Tahoe can help support your efforts with getting rid of.
Just 1 second here. There we go. Okay, hold it. Right.
Bad information. Things like the tip that she was found yesterday in South Reno and all that kind of garbage. Is there any way we can support you so that good information comes out and all this internet dictation?
This is killing me. All right, bring it all into the same stream. Come on now. Okay, here. No, not that one. That one. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. All right, stay there now. Stay. Stay, question, stay. All right, don't move. All right, let's try this again. Right.
Kind of comes to the social media side, and I would like to know how we as a community in Truckee and North Tahoe can help support your efforts with getting rid of bad information, things like the tip that she was found yesterday in South Reno and all that kind of garbage. Is there any way we can support you so that good information comes out and all this internet detectivery kind of goes away?
I really appreciate your question. Thank you very much.
Now let's just think back to the question that was asked of the other. I'm sorry, I don't know the official that answered, the gentleman in the footage we were just watching. And he says, well, of course we should encourage it, right? But this woman is acting, how do we get rid of all the internet detectivery? Because of a very expensive vocabulary. And now watch this one get all excited.
That has been a huge challenge for us. And yesterday, to be quite frank with everybody in this room, it took detectives and people who are in charge of this operation about 45 minutes to an hour. They diverted their attention for 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh my God, it took 45 minutes to an hour to look into a lead of a missing 16-year-old? My word.
The search for Kiely to figure this out.
Yeah.
That's precious time that was lost.
Yeah.
No, it was precious time when people were doing their jobs, which was to follow up on a lead.
First, they think they found her tank top. She wasn't wearing a tank top. She was wearing a black bodysuit. There's a big difference.
Well, aren't we sassy?
Mm-hmm. Secondly, a vehicle matching Kiely's vehicle with the same plate found in South Reno in front of a gated community in South Reno with a male who was with her and who's acting erratically. False, 100%. Mm-hmm. Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Fake news.
And there's fake news.
Fake news.
On social media. Mm-hmm. The majority of what you read on social media is fake news. Believe it or not.
Yeah, we all know that. Thank you. Don't talk. I hate how they talk down to people.
So what I would urge the community to do is to please repost what the Nevada County Sheriff's Office puts out. Repost what we, the Placer County Sheriff's Office, put out. any legitimate law enforcement agency that's pushing out information is the absolute most legitimate source of information you can ever find.
Well, you tell us where those legitimate law enforcement agencies are, and we will be sure to follow all of that information to a T and exclusively.
Regarding these types of situations and these types of incidents. So please, if you want to help spread the word and help us squash and quell fake news, please reshare our posts. Because the more you do that, the more it will funnel in legitimate information. And the more that could flood that person's timeline with legitimate information, right?
Right.
The less room there will be for rumors to come out. And on behalf of the people who are putting out these rumors, I want to apologize to the family.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you are probably reading all this and you are going through an absolute wave of emotions, up and down, up and down. We understand.
You know what? They're going to be going, I'm sorry, lady, but they're going to be going through a wave of emotions up and down, up and down, up and down anyway, because their 16-year-old daughter is not home. I mean, seriously? So what in my, like, this is what I'm hearing. She's essentially saying, we don't want your tips. Kind of like, who said this? Like, go away. We will find her with the help of our community and the help of our community only. Let's bring the whole ensemble together, Mags, right? And don't worry, we've got this, Lindsay, and this one. Ugh, people are awful, freaking awful.
We're going through it with you. We want to apologize on behalf of these people. We're very sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't imagine how it makes the family feel.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if your loved one's been missing and then all of a sudden you hear this recording and it's a dispatch recording saying that the vehicle was found and that the plate was an absolute match? How happy would that make you?
It would make me really happy.
Only to find out from law enforcement, sorry. It took us about an hour to figure out if it was true or not. It was just another rumor. Actually, it turned out that that specific incident, it was a blue minivan.
And by the way, there is a scanner recording citing this blue minivan, and the dispatch on the scanner says it's related to the Kiely Rodni case, or the missing girl from 16-year-old girl from Truckee. Enough identifying information to know there was one and only, and it was Kiely Rodni. So stick that up your law enforcement, whatever.
It's very frustrating. And once again, I'm going to mention, if you want to help spread the word and help keep fake news off social media and help us find Kiely, please reshare what law enforcement's putting out. Please.
And please go search the lake with your hands, even though you have scuba gear.
I hope that answered your question.
Very much so. Thank you.
Ew. Okay. Now, also, somebody, I think it was Marlena, had a good comment there. I want to pin that. Then I want to go back to the August 13th so-called press conference. Because, oh God. Now, this is going to just kind of piggyback on, I think it was Marlena's comment. Let's see. I cannot keep up with chat. Should I slow down chat? No, we don't need to slow down chat. Right? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I personally can't keep up with it in StreamYard, but that's because StreamYard. I was just looking at it on my phone on YouTube, so I have to go. Just take me a moment here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of this. This, again, the Truckee media, Truckee town meeting on August 12th. I've always called it like the lost town meeting because I personally haven't seen it in heavy circulation. I'm sure there's channels that have covered it at some point. I haven't even seen that. Now, again, I don't have I catch a little bit here and there, like Behind the Crime with Michelle Sutton is here in chat. Definitely go check out her channel. She has a great channel. And the CNY family. And oh my God, there's other, I'm so sorry. Mods, if you're able to pick up those channels and put the links in chat, that'd be great. If you can't, it's okay. Crime and Crochet or my hyper focus. I love that. I've seen some other channels too. I'm sorry. Make yourself known, channels. If I'm missing you, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. Okay. Let me try to find that comment. And if I can't, I think I remember what it said because it was a good one. What's RT asking here? Yeah. And I don't know what GOP Nick said, but probably something good. Thank you, Nick. RT says, a good point to GOP Nick. 17,000 in the community. How many people would know your daughter? For example, maybe 50. That's not the whole community. What community are they talking about? Like when the community's daughter, is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. It's, ugh. I can't. Yes, sis. I think the same thing too. I can't even use the word community now, like just in like, like having nothing like at work or when I'm talking about someone who knows nothing about this case. Sis Vicious, my girl, says, I feel at this point community has to be it has to be code for something else. I agree with you. It just, yeah, I agree with you. That just had to have been Verna asking that question. Oh my gosh. I made a video and I don't have anything against Verna. I don't know her or anything. I know I had heard a little bit about her videos. She comments, sometimes on my videos, and she made a comment, telling us all we need to stop, blah, 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 blah. We're just hurting the family. We need to use the 3 gates that Lindsay put forth. Is it bullshit? Is it bullshit? Is it bullshit or whatever? And I made a video responding to the comment, just reading my comment, because that's what I have to say to people in general who tell us that we need to stop looking for justice for victims of crimes who no longer have a voice. So if you want to, you can check it out. I'm just so sick of hearing that, after covering extensively the Watts case, obviously, because you are here at Watts the Obsession, and other cases as well. I'm just so sick of hearing that. Nobody is out to attack the family. I am so sorry that this family is in pain. But guess what, guys? Here's some news, not fake news, real news. For those of you who don't know, the family's going to be in pain no matter what, because they just lost their 16-year-old daughter, sister, friend, niece, whatever. Their pain has nothing to do with my channel or Michelle's channel or the CNY family or anyone else's channel. It has to do with the fact that they had a huge, terrible, tragic, traumatic loss in their life that nobody should ever have to suffer, but we are human, so we do. That is why they are in pain. We are not causing their pain, and I truly am sorry for their pain, but it is not my or our fault. Oh, so many good comments I missed because I couldn't keep up. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Hello. I can't even with that name. Awesome, though. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hi, Birdman. Welcome. Glad you're here, too. And the imprint. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let he who sins be relieved. That's a good one. Let he who sins be relieved. That's a great comment. Whoops. Y'all don't want us to uncover your corrupt ways. And Lindsay wouldn't get, oh, no. I personally don't think that, but it's okay that you think that, but I personally don't think that. I definitely think you're spot on with all of this opposition to receiving tips, to investigating tips. I mean, it's like asinine. It's ridiculous. Like who does this is exactly for that reason. They don't want us to see what's going on. Look the other way. Oh, hey, thanks, allegedly. I appreciate that. Jane Hunter says to Travelcado, our community loves Kiely so much they couldn't come forward without covering their voice. Yeah, all right. Yep. Like in the Megan video. Yep. I don't know that, just a rumor. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Just slipped out. I don't know who it's talking about. I can't even try to figure it out. I wish I knew what you guys were talking about, but I'll have to go back and read it later. So anyway, what I wanted to pin, that I think it was Marlena who said this, wanted to say, now how many people like think this angry lady is behind all of like the hatred and the opposition to Adventures with Purpose, right? So hey there, Jackie K, how are you doing, sweetheart? Welcome. And welcome to everybody who's just come in to chat recently. I'm sorry if I didn't get to see you and say hello. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, that angry lady. So we just saw her response to this woman who, kind of posed an agitating question. What do we do about all of that online detectivery or whatever? And she got so excited about it. She clearly is angry. Okay, cut back to. Oh, so for those of you who have just come in here recently, we are focusing right now on the Truckee community meeting, the lost meeting that was on August 12th, and the press conference, the Placer Sheriff's County held press conference the following day on August 13th. Now, what these officials say from one appearance or whatever you want to call it to the next is like, what? Okay, so this is what Miss Thang had to say the next day, also demonstrating her anger. You just get to the spot. Oops, wait, wait. Okay, I got the right one. Did I pin the right one here? Yes. Now I just gotta rewind, go back to that one. I just can't stand this smugness. Okay, here. Oh, and I'm also going to tell you about something that I know is being an indicator of something specific from my behavioral analysis background, as I'm a behavioral therapist. With the eyebrow raise you see at some point here, I'll tell you what that's all about after we watch it.
Public Information Officer with the Placer County Sheriff's Office. I'm joined by our local, state, and federal agencies today as we continue search day over 9,000 man-hours for the search for Kiely.
Ain't that something, since she was found 55 feet offshore and only 14 feet of water? Ain't that something?
We've ramped up our search for the weekend. Today we have over 200 search and rescuers, including searchers by air and searchers in the water.
Using their hands, they're feeling
Our
around,
detectives and
remember.
FBI
Hi, Kitty Witty.
continue
Hi, Dr.
to
Latina. How
sift
are you?
through and
Welcome.
comb through over 1,000 leads that we've received up until today from the beginning of this search. Yesterday, there was a potential burial site that was located near the campground. It
So
was
this is
located
it.
by a search and rescue ground team. Kiely's family was notified of the potential development. The FBI responded to secure the scene yesterday and was accompanied by the Placer and Nevada County Sheriff's Offices.
Okay, so they're responding to a tip, right, from a ground search team, one of those outsider volunteer ground search teams, those evil bastards.
The agents investigated the site through early this morning and recovered the remains of a dog. Let me be clear. We have one team, one mission, and one goal, and that is to find 16-year-old Kiely Rodni.
Sure as hell doesn't seem like it, and you've had absolutely no success thus far, so I don't know what you're being clear on here, little Miss Thang.
We will not be holding a community meeting tonight.
There's the eyebrow raise. But let's watch the eyebrow raise. We will not be holding a community meeting tonight because we've been watching excerpts of the community meeting from the previous day where they got slammed and got all the schnizzle.
16-year-old Kiely Rodni. We will not be holding a community meeting tonight. There's a concert, we understand, to support Kiely's family happening at the Truckee Regional Park from 1 to 4 p.m.
So I have been focusing on a lot of, and I don't mean to be focusing on this.
I'd like to remind everybody.
Oops, I'm sorry. It's just what is showing up in the players as we watch, what's going on in this case. So what she is indicating with both her verbal and nonverbal communication is disgust for those people out there who are searching for Kiely, who are not part of her one team. This woman is absolutely disgusted with all of us and the volunteer search parties. So I believe it was Marlena. Going back to your question that I couldn't find a pin, do you think that this angry woman was the root of all the opposition and hatred towards Adventures with Purpose? Quite possibly, absolutely.
We have set up multiple ways for people to We've set up multiple ways for people to anonymously contact the sheriff's office regarding tips. Some of those options are available here to my left. We have an online portal. We also have a tip line that you can call by phone. We also have a link tree that we set up for people.
Yes,
who would
exactly,
like to
Nip.
submit
Yes.
Any photos and any videos.
Yes, Dr.
from that
Latina.
weekend
Yes,
of the
absolutely.
party. You will be able to submit them anonymously without using your name, number, or email address.
Oh, and also, if somebody, one of the moderators could put in chat, also, if you guys are doing that, I don't know if I said, if you can grab the channels, put them in chat for the people that are here to support them, because on this channel, we support other true crime and investigate any channel that is spitting the truth, because, we want others to be successful. It's all good. Dr. Latina, if you do not know, many of you may have seen her on Zap Girl. She also does have her own channel. That's where I've been watching her exclusively lately. Very good stuff, Dr. Latina. You are amazing. So everybody, please go check out Dr. Latina and her own channel.
Stress. So again, we still are urging people in the community who may still be hesitant. You're not going to get in trouble. All we want to know is, where is Kiely? Where is her vehicle? We just want to find Kiely. Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold it. I don't think she said search dog. I got to feel this question, though, because I'm not sure. Wait, did she just say a search dog located the dead dog grave? Because that's not what they're trained to do. I think she said a ground search team. And in saying ground search team, she was implying one of those bastard outsider volunteer teams like Adventures with Purpose. Damn them, right? I'm quite sure. I've listened to this 1,000 times recently, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, no, it's good. It's unfortunate what's been said. Whoa, what happened? Wait a minute, hold it. Where are you guys? Okay, there you are. I don't know. My son's computer is crazy. Hold it. I slipped. I opened. Okay, but it's still there. Oh, made me put it in a new window. Okay, anyway, I can handle that. I'm a smart person, kind of. Not as smart as her, though.
Angela, can you or the officers behind you confirm that her phone, Kelly's phone, the last ping was near the wall?
No, please let Sam take it because he knows so much about that.
We're near the wall.
All right, we've already gone over this.
An exact pinpoint or anything like that, but just as much on land as it was.
Yes, Kevin, I roll. Wait, who rolled their eyes, Kev?
Near the water and searches took place near that vicinity. Are those going to continue?
Yeah, today we have 226 searchers, pretty astronomical number. I think the overhead team at the search and rescue.
All right, we can't stomach Sam anymore. Let me go to some of your comments. Sam, no. Later, dude. No, you are like all wrong. You are all wrong for me and everyone else. Okay, so get his ugly ass off of there anyway. Ugh, can't stand that. Sorry, I'm not normally like shallow like that, but these people they're like not good people. They can't be good people. They just can't. It's funny how Truckee authorities were acting all Billy Big Balls at the beginning and then disappeared as soon as some real men found Kiely. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, that's a great comment. Oh my God. Richie Buddy says she also dresses like a Lodi. And if you don't know what that is, then you don't know much at all. She is a total Lodi. Yes, she is. Oh my God. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, thank you, Erin. Another one of our wonderful moderators. If you do get a chance, please hit the like to support the channel. I always hit the like when I watch a video just to say, thanks for making this video. Even if I don't like it, I think it's a piece of crap or I don't agree with it. You took time making it, so I do that. So I would appreciate it if you did. Oh, let's see. Oh, I don't know if, you know. So Michelle, yes, RT's here. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jody. You're awesome. Thank you, Jody. Is cool. So there's Dr. Latina's channel. Yeah, great channel. Please check it out. Absolutely. Dr. Latina, by the way, I don't know if I had made some videos about the autopsy results in toxicology, well, which is part of the autopsy, well, the report, whatever it was. I'm not going to pretend I actually know these things because that's not my wheelhouse. Because it's not my wheelhouse. I don't even usually touch those things. But I talked with two friends of mine who are physicians, have been for a long time. One of them used to work in the medical examiner's office. She is not a medical examiner. I keep saying that just because I want to be clear. I don't want people to think that I'm saying anything that I'm not, or pretending that she or I or anyone has credentials that they do not, because that's not what we're doing. But they agreed with virtually everything you said. I think you said a lot more than they said to me. They didn't want to come. They won't come on the channel. My friend, I call her Dr. Dre. And I was calling her Dr. Dre, not even thinking of her because her real name is Andrea, when she was going through one of her medical schools, because I feel like she's been to a couple. I think she has. Long time ago, we called her Dr. Dre. So I was referring to her as that, just among people I would talk to, like on the phone or whatever. They all thought I was talking about you, Dr. Latina, and they were all excited because they thought you were coming on the channel, and I had to disappoint them. So, but anyway, my point is, from what I understand, you said about the autopsy results and the toxicology results, they completely echoed what you said, which gave me a lot of faith in the analysis and the conclusion altogether. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Marlena. 226 searchers that couldn't find Kiely, even though they had the last ping location. Okay. Welcome to everybody who's recently come in to chat. If you weren't here when we were listening to Sam Brown saying, he literally said this, just because we know the location where Kiely's phone last pinged doesn't mean that's where her phone last pinged. No, it does mean that's where her phone last pinged. Like, let me be clear. Where a phone last pings is where the phone last pings. I know this is complicated matter here, but we need to get this straight. Let me be clear, right? You know, seriously. God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is a good comment too. So, Rock Like a Cop, welcome. How are you doing? Says the fights they can not get over the fights that have been looked at like normal behavior. Violence is systemic and expected and rewarded. These are really all important questions and discussions that need to be had. Yeah. TF says, I guess AWP had better hands, you know, because Sheriff Sam there was saying that scuba divers had to basically search around with their hands and they did not want to touch the mud. So they had to stay on the surface. They didn't want to touch the mud. They searched with their hands. What the fuck is he talking about? Oh. So we're watching this to see if they ever mentioned the fire cams, right? Yeah, I mean, I know that's crazy. The fire cams. No more camera talk tonight. All right, Michelle has laid down the law. No more camera talk tonight. None. Nope, none. I'm okay with that. Does anyone want to come up on panel and say anything? If you do, whoops. Let me put the link in chat here. I've got probably about another 20 minutes in me. I've got to go to bed. I got to go to work tomorrow and analyze behavior. But you're welcome. Please, I'd love for people to come up on panel if you want to. Please do. You are invited. Whoops. Is that it? Yeah. No, it has to be. Yeah. Okay. I'm all weirded out on a different computer here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Here you go. Come on up, folks, if you want to. Whoops. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. let's go back to, well, I'm seeing if you guys can, oh, here comes Michelle. Yay. Awesome. Let me bring Michelle up. Awesome. Hey, girl. How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to come up because I've been trying to get to a live where you do a panel.
Oh, I know. I've been trying to get you up here too. I'm so happy to have you. Yeah. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking, lady? Tell us.
Which part?
I know. I was just thinking it's a very general question. Which part? Oh my God. My head is spinning. My head is spinning. At some point I decided to, okay, so I had COVID. I was extremely sick. I was off of YouTube for like 2 or close to 3 weeks. The coroner's final report came out while I was just about getting out of that. And then I was just kind of catching up with everything and taking it all in. And then at some point I was just like, whoa, oh my God, I have to go back over everything because WTAF is going on here. And I've been putting less videos out, just spending time going over everything. And I cannot believe it. Now that everything has been said and done, when you go back and reflect and try to put the pieces together, they do not fit at all. None of them do.
And so that's
No.
the way, what you're doing now is how I started my channel, was going back to the beginning. But even watching this tonight, I caught things that I didn't catch and that was just not even 2 months ago.
Absolutely,
and I'm like,
yes.
Whoa, I didn't see that when I was breaking it down. So the whole, there was so much in that. Okay, so Angela has always just gave me a vibe from the beginning.
Yes.
And
Oh, wait, just 1 second. Marlena, yeah, go ahead. You can suggest that in chat. So I'm sorry. Marlena's saying, may I suggest a great live with Dr. Latina a couple days ago on John Q's channel. I don't even know who that is. I'm going to check him out though, but I have no problem promoting other channels here. In fact, I would like to do that. I would like success for all. So yes, please go with it. Yes. Everyone go watch it. I'm going to watch it myself. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michelle. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I think the fake news attitude thing just kind of was like, okay, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like self-righteousness.
It absolutely is. I saw that you said that in a comment. Yeah, CNY family, come on up next time or anytime you want to. Cleaning is important too. I get it. It is total self-righteousness and all of these little snarky comments that, and I'm really, when this last few days, week, little interruption with Adelphi, information, because that was just crazy. Let's not even go there though. Yeah, I'm really catching all of the snark, like the things that we're pointing out now. And it's really, truly unbelievable for these people whose, occupation and, they've taken an oath, a vow to serve the community and whatever else that entails. And they are lazy. They are incompetent. They are, from the analysis that I've done, they are contemptuous and have disgust towards their own community members and also people outside of the community. So what the hell are they doing in their positions?
I have no, that's the thing, is there's no explanation.
No.
What we always thought was they didn't have any crime rate. But then I don't know, I've been going back and looking at old cases, and there's so many that are very, very suspicious.
Yeah.
And they will even say was ruled suspicious, but not a homicide. And I'm like, how? How can you just...
Right. How can you just let that go?
So they only have one murder that is logged, and I'm like, okay. So I just thought, well, maybe they didn't need big city training because they didn't have, all the crime that most towns have. But obviously we were all wrong about that.
That's right. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And even, it seems as though, and the way they conduct themselves and the things that they say, and truly, and the outcome that they produce of their own investigation, it doesn't seem like they even have the most basic level of country town training. You know, they did jack squat. They had a lot to say. None of it made sense. They were really rude and disrespectful. And in my opinion, they completely betrayed their own community's daughter. And yet they stand in judgment of everyone else. And
Right.
what it all adds up to for me is I hate to go the conspiracy theory route, and it's not this. So why I want to go through this so meticulously is because this is not conspiracy theory. All of these indicators, everything we are pointing out, things that we can't even see at this point, and so much more indicate that something is not right here. So it is either has to be gross incompetency or corruption, because I have racked my brain. Someone please tell me if you have another option. I can't think of anything else.
I just can't see it being lack of training when you have FBI there.
Right. Yes. Very good point. That's right.
Why didn't they catch these mistakes? Why did they allow
Yeah.
these, the mistakes that were made that we could clearly see?
Yeah, absolutely.
So unless you were just like blind or something, I don't know. There's no way you could not see the mistakes that were made. And
Right. Yeah.
we have retired law enforcement that have their own channel now, and they're like, no, that is not how that, and
Yeah. That's right. That's right. I mean, this is a very good point. I mean, this is one of the few times where we're seeing retired law enforcement and, people like Dr. Latina who are either still active or retired in their field speaking out against other professionals who made official rulings, so to speak, in this case that ultimately rendered the coroner's final report on the investigation into Kiely Rodni's death, which they ruled to be an accident by drowning. It feels to me like accident by drowning has nothing to do with anything, really. I mean, it's just
I don't understand.
crazy.
Like, I would love to see other drowning victims' autopsy reports.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to, if it says accident by drowning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that actually would be a really good comparison. I wonder if Dr. Latina is still here. Dr. Latina, would you have any insight into that? Like other drowning victims, like legitimate, we know that this person drowned, their autopsy reports. I mean, it may be like you haven't done this comparison. Would we see a lot of similarities in what we see in Kylie's report, or would they look completely different from one another? That's really, I'm going to try to find somebody who knows what they're talking about medically to do that. That's a really good one.
The CNY family said, okay, I'm taking a break. If you want, I will come up for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please do. Here, I'll drop the link again. That would be great. Awesome. So happy to have you guys here. Copy. Here we go.
That's funny. I take a lot of breaks when I'm cleaning too. It's all right.
Yes, it's important. And Erin, I would love to drop I can't grab your link right now, sweetheart, because there's just too much going on my computer screen right now, and it's too slow for what I'm doing. But all you do is highlight like the address bar, for the web, for whatever it is, YouTube or any other website, and then copy and paste in chat. That's all you do. So I don't know if that was helpful, but okay, here's the CNY family. Let me bring her up. Oh, let's see. So Dr. Latina just said, I had not done a comparison, but her autopsy had 0 hallmarks found in drowning. Yes, and like I was saying, the 2 physicians, one who used to work in the medical examiner's office, absolutely agreed with this, kind of summary conclusion that Dr. Latina is putting out there, that her autopsy had 0 of the hallmarks found in drowning. I guess that's why, in some way you almost don't need to do that comparison. But for those I guess the only reason I would feel the need to do it is for those who do not believe. But you know what? Screw it, because the proof is already there, right? So thank you, Dr. Latina. Here, let me bring up a Hey, CNY family, how you doing? Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm so happy to have you here. And what's going on? What do you think?
Oh, no problem. I mean, yeah, this case,
Oh,
I've
wait,
just never
wait,
seen
hold on. I
anything
think,
like it.
no, it's crazy. Oh, wait, maybe what? Hold it. Give me 1 second. Hold it. Do you have the stream on in the background somewhere, or is it me?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on,
You
let
do?
me turn that down.
Yeah, turn, there you go. I know.
Okay,
I forget to do that also. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, you've never seen anything like it. I know. It's a couple
Hold on
other
1
people
second.
just, yeah. So a couple other people just said that, like, those very same words in chat. Like, it truly is like never seen anything like it. Even with the other true crime cases, like, I do think that the Watts case is really, there's so much confusion, inconsistencies, and craziness in that. And there's so many others. I do believe that this really has some unique qualities in the whole community dynamic. And I don't even know. I mean, I've already said all of the words. I don't want to say them again, but this is whack. Whack, not like crack. Go ahead.
No, I understand what you're saying. There's no way. Even if, I mean, like, you can steer as clear away from.
Okay, so sorry about that. I had to turn my computer volume down, and then
okay.
I couldn't hear it on the TV.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
But
oh wait, I still hear it. Wait, I'm so sorry, honey. I still hear it. Something still. I think something's still on.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right, cool. Oh wait, I still hear it. Wait, I'm so sorry, honey. I still hear it. Something still. You still got the echo, girl. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, all right, cool. Here, wait, I'm gonna just mute for 1 second because I got my earbuds in and it's going like a. Okay, so I muted you for just a second, CNY family, but I definitely want you to come up here. So, just have to turn off anything that has this stream on it in the background, whether it's like the TV or the computer or your phone. Sometimes I've got like streams going on all of them. And, so just all those things just that are going to bring in this volume just have to go off. I can still hear it though. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, Marlena says it's so very okay. Okay.
Can you hear it now? I should be good.
I have a motorcycle driving by. Okay. Oh, I think you're good. Okay, cool. Yay, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh no, I still hear it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Okay, go ahead. Talk. Why don't you talk and let's see what happens. Yeah, I hear it still.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'll do this. I would like to do this some other time with you if that's possible. I don't know why.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I would love. Yeah, please, definitely come on. I'll send you an email. Come on some other time, definitely. Actually, is it gone now? Do you hear it, Michelle?
Not. I mean,
I think it's gone now. Wait, I think you're good now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're good. You're good. Okay, good. Yay. Oh, okay. I thought she went out. Okay. She probably wasn't hearing us very well. So I'm sorry. CNY. I feel bad about that, but it was like, I don't know. On my end, it was like, I don't know. But I've gone on panels before and I've done the same thing. I couldn't figure it out. And then I'm like, I did it on 15 places. What's that, Michelle?
I couldn't figure it out at first either.
Yeah, I know it's hard. Yeah, it can be hard. So, let's see. Mrs. G said, "Hi, Mrs. G. Welcome. How are you doing?" See, Mrs. G said, "Kylie's death is related to the Fight Club and gambling. Whoa, who drove the car into the water? They can't rule it an accident without proving who was driving." Huh. Well, yeah. I mean, okay. So I think you make a good point here about they can't prove it was an accident without proving who was drowning. I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know if it is or not, but what I was told by my friend who gave me a very complete report in why the autopsy findings are basically bogus. And then actually when I listened to Dr. Latina, she used a lot of the very same words. And I was like, oh yeah, they must be spot on, because independent of one another, they're saying the exact same things. That you cannot rightfully come to a definitive conclusion in an autopsy report, or I'm sorry, a coroner's report, using the methods that this coroner report used, which were, I hope I can remember now, if not I know, oh no, they're on my other computer, was exclusion, and there's another word. Oh, I can't remember what it was. But basically what she was saying, the point is they were not like, it's almost like circumstantial evidence in a case. Rather than proving something by fact, you're using circumstantial evidence, right? So that's basically what she was saying, was used all throughout the coroner's report, final report on a death investigation, to come to a decisive conclusion, which is a no-no. That's what I was told. Dr. Latina, not in those exact words, said the same thing. So did my other friend who's a physician. And when I did my research, it's all consistent with the research that I found. So how that happens, I just don't understand.
No. No.
I don't know. What did you think of the coroner's report?
Before I even heard Dr. Latina, she and I were already on the same page. Like, like I can't even tell you how many autopsy reports I've seen. And
yeah.
the 75 and 80-year-old people that I had on my hospice floor, their autopsy was written better than this autopsy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's not a criminal investigation. And that was my feelings on it. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it didn't rise to the level of a criminal investigation. Exactly. Well said. Yeah.
That, or it did not sound like a doctor wrote the report.
Yeah.
It was very, I don't know. It just was maybe on a high school level, not,
Yeah, no, I think that all makes sense. It didn't like make those, like when you look at other autopsy reports, I think a lot of toxicology reports like look very much the same, but when you look at the autopsy report in its entirety, kind of like to my friend's point of, they use the methods of exclusion, and I wish I could remember the other word. It'll come to me, but the autopsy itself didn't point to definitive indicators that conclusively prove accident or drowning, yet the final conclusion was accident and drowning. Imagine that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand how people can be okay with the outcome of this investigation and everything that has happened in this case.
No. And
so here, not it.
We already made them mad, voicing our opinions on YouTube, on social media.
I know.
We already made them mad. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with Truckee.
I know. I don't know what to do with Truckee either. Fuck Truckee. I'm sorry. I had to say that. I don't know what to do with Truckee. It is such a strange community. And I know, like, knowing, having met, like through the internet, a couple of other people who live there and are totally like normal, like people that are like, any of us who are talking about this right now, you can see the difference in those people versus the, Lindsay Neiman's and the Sammy Smiths and the freaking law enforcement, and just so many of them. I don't know what the answer is. What is the motivating factor, or what is the common factor that is causing all of these people to act so strangely? I have no idea what it is. So I want to play. You were just talking about. Oh, go ahead, honey.
No, there's vibes. and I don't like them. They're not like good. I mean, they're.
Do you have any idea? Oh, wait, I just want to say thank you for the super chat. Thank you very much, Dan Davis, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you for supporting the channel. Dan says, I feel that even a moron could have done a better job looking and investigating this case. Yes. I mean, yes, it's just, yeah, I think a lot of us agree on that. So do you have any, Michelle, do you have any, I haven't had a chance to watch any channels lately after I lost so much time or whatever after I COVID I was extremely sick and then going back to work and I haven't been able to watch your channel or any channels lately, except for maybe a couple minutes here and there when I first turn on YouTube or I'm getting ready in the morning. But do you have any do you have any thoughts or theories or ideas on what the motivating factors are here or what may have actually happened?
So I feel like I've not given any proof of an accident. Like I feel like that, there's no, I mean, prove it's an accident. You could just come out and say, and why did it take so long to say it was an accident? That's my thing. And,
Right. Yeah.
why you that long to rule it an accident? Because and CHP still working it is weird to me because this month will be a year that my aunt got killed in a car.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A guy come across the median and on the highway and hit her head on.
Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm so sorry.
My husband stayed on the scene, and to be able to get the stuff, he had to wait for the highway patrol to finish their where they do it when they redo it. What is it called?
Reenactment?
Yeah, when they did the reenactment.
Yeah.
My husband got to watch the reenactment on the scene. So I don't understand why it's taken how many months now? 3?
Yeah.
Like, why did it take 90 days?
Wow.
And not finished.
That's it's oh my God, it's so unsettling. And I also don't understand how, okay, this shortly after Kyle's car was finally found and Kylie was recovered thanks to Adventures with Purpose. My thinking was, based on a lot of the things the kids who spoke had to say, particularly Sammy. And hey, we know what? When I first started talking about this case, I was dead set. Again, I was like, I was not point the finger at any of those kids because in my thinking that I work with all teenagers, they're kids. I use this, just one fact that a person's brain doesn't even stop developing until they're in their mid 20s, particularly the part of the brain that's responsible for making reasonable rational decisions. That's why young people, in part and also due to lack of experience and hard knocks, act the way that they do, right? So understanding that and working with teenagers and understanding what they're like, and we've all been teachers, we all know teenagers. I was dead set against pointing the finger at any of these kids. But, the more I heard and the more I watched, the more clear it was to me that they were at the very least not telling the truth and covering up something after the fact. And I still believe that. I absolutely believe that. And I think that that is exactly what's going on here. But I thought at first that when pressure started to build, or even the pressure kind of silence of law enforcement coming out with nothing for a while, which I think we kind of all had a good feeling was going to happen. Even under that pressure, surely at least one of them was going to crack, or maybe a couple of them would get together and they would decide that they were going to have to crack to save themselves, right? And I really still am surprised that never happened. And I wonder why that is.
Yeah. I mean, They tried to sneak it in. Like
Yeah.
that was the same time that Quentin was going missing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh well, here they're distracted, or so they thought. It didn't take
Yes.
didn't take but a few minutes for the word to get out, and I don't. It just I've never seen a situation where, and maybe it's a southern thing or a East Coast thing, but when the community goes through something like this,
Mm-hmm.
I see more come together and make a difference in some way with any accident or homicide for that matter here. And
Mm-hmm.
it goes on for months. They do things in honor of their child. So why did everything just shut down?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And it's
Not
everything. Nothing to see here. Nothing. Nothing to see here.
right.
We don't want tips. We don't want to communicate with the community. We don't want your tips. We're not going to investigate them. And we are going to be disgusted and have contempt for you because you even brought them to our attention, even though that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. And then you've got, not only law enforcement, but you have the family and her friends. And I'm like,
Mhm.
none of them are saying
Mhm.
anything. But you have, I don't know, probably, I don't know how many people you would say across the true crime community still watching Kylie's case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you know what? As far as somebody in the, I think it was somebody in the chat just said that, let's see, I've got to find the video here. Said that, well, nobody said anything because there was nothing to see. Well, so I haven't put this video out yet. I haven't put this video out yet because I'm trying to be extremely complete in it. And there's like a million different layers in my video editor, and it's just taking me a lot of time. But I will give you a spoiler here. I was able to determine through mathematical calculations, and I had help on this too. Well, I was able to kind of figure out myself, but then I had help somebody checking it and rechecking it who's like a mathematical genius. The cars that we see, and I'm going to, and in the video, I'm not going to do it tonight because I'm getting too tired and it's really complex to explain. Well, it's not complex to explain. You have to do a number of different calculations. And then I want people to see why you do them and like how it works given, and I'm talking about the fire cam footage. So we're going to have to assume that that fire cam footage is actual, right? And that it's relevant and that it is Kylie's car. Now, if you don't believe in that, and nobody has to believe in that, it might not make any difference. But I personally believe that the fire cam footage does show her car going into the reservoir. So anyway, when you do all those calculations and analysis, the cars that were, I call them the onlookers, were less than 50 yards from where Kylie's car went in. Now they might have been closer, but we can say that based on the calculations that you're able to do. So let me bring this up. What do you think about the fire cam? You said you want to talk about cameras. Let me just ask you this. Do you think that we see Kylie's car going into the lake?
Hell no.
You don't think so? Okay, no. So do you think that the fire cam footage was fake? It was like manufactured?
I hate talking about this because
Okay, you don't have to. You're welcome to, but you don't have to.
it causes so much just issues.
Oh,
Because
okay.
there's a whole lot. Like I had to turn things over to the FBI because I was given the original files. So that's why I don't talk about it because it's too deep.
Okay, well, let me tell you about this then. I don't know if I definitely haven't told you this. What's that? Or do you don't even want to hear about it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So so I turned things over to the FBI as well. And it was after It happened to be the morning after Megan came onto my channel after she had been on your channel like a few days before or something. She was in chat because I made a video about what she had said, and I'm sure she didn't like it because it wasn't super nice, but it was, I thought, accurate, and I still think it's accurate. And I feel protective of Megan now, and I want her to be well, and I hope she doesn't continue to go on channels, but that's a whole different story. Anyway, information was it was related to that stream, and then some other things that I can't talk about that either, so I understand what you're saying. But so I had to hand that over to the authorities, and it ended up being the FBI, and then I had to follow up with the FBI. So it was that. Okay, so Megan was on my channel. Next morning, the things went to the FBI. Prior to that, somebody had been contacting me for like 2 or 3 weeks, saying that they were from Truckee. At first, I just thought it was BS. I just didn't even pay attention to it because I just thought it was, somebody, being somebody ridiculous, right? And so I eventually thought about somebody that I know that lives in Tahoe, and I'd gone out there with my ex-boyfriend. We'd stayed out there like several times to go skiing and snowboarding. The person lives there, has a lot of connections, and I don't even want to explain them all, but I was able to vet out this person to determine that this person was real, that the email address that they were using was real, and that the facts that they were telling me were accurate, and proved to me, to this person, and therefore me, because I trust this person, that they were who they said they are. I hope you're following so far, everybody. Yeah. So it was a few hours after, and now I had said on my channel for about 24 hours, probably a little less than that, that I was gonna have to go to the FBI because people were saying in comments, people were sending me direct messages, people were calling me, people were blowing me up saying, "Oh my God, somebody's going to the FBI." And eventually I was like, "You're right." And then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go to the FBI because everybody's telling me this. Is anybody doing that?" And then, what I have to be careful what I say here too. So then a few hours after after my second contact with the FBI, I was sent through email in an MP4 format, not a link to the Firecam website. I was sent the Firecam videos. So I was at work when this happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that anybody else was going to receive them or that anybody else was going to access them. However it goes, I don't know. So like I started to put it together, made like a video about it. So by the time, a few hours of work go by, I had to do some stuff for my mom after work, had to do something with the kid after work. It's like, 12 hours later, I come home to put out my video, and people are just starting to buzz about like, oh, something about the fire cameras, and like nothing had been put out at that point. So the next day when I started to watch what the cat drug in with the fire cam videos, I was noticing that everybody was going to a website rather than like pulling out or converting like an MP4 file. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Okay, so is that like the same thing that happened to you? Because Michelle and I haven't talked about this, so I'm trying to figure out if it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder if we received the same file, and I wonder if we received it from the same person.
Probably.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we should talk about that. That's interesting. Okay. You learn
Yeah,
something new every. Yeah. Okay.
Talk after. Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a live stream. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I have to go to bed pretty soon, but maybe we'll talk tomorrow or something. Because I don't know. I guess we both turned it over to the FBI, so we did the right thing, and I guess to that end, we did what we have to do. But I guess I don't know. But other weird things have been happening, and I guess I just want to know for myself, like what is going on. This case is different.
No, I did not clear it with Sammy. I didn't even think of Sammy at that moment. Okay, like when we discovered it on a live, and like it shook me up so bad that I was like freaking out when we discovered it on my live. And the next
so you were live when you got the email or whatever?
No, I had gotten it earlier that day, but
Okay.
I had emailed and asked, could I share it?
Uh-huh.
because it was not my find. So, and, I was given permission, not knowing
Right.
what I was going to see. And then my chat started going crazy, and I was like, oh, no, no, no. You guys, this is not, something's not right. And so I was like, did I just get like at first I freaked out thinking I'd gotten like flagged with a virus, for opening this. And then
Right.
the next day, everything was still working and nothing had been hacked. So I was like, let me just open this, alone and go through this. And then I was giving from someone completely different
Mm-hmm.
access to the original ones. And the original ones don't match up with what was put out.
So how were you able to determine that the ones that you're considering the original ones were original?
Well, it's way more than what we were originally sent.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. I'm not trying to like interrogate you or anything. I'm just curious.
No,
Okay.
no. Like,
'Cause
I
yeah.
could go to every camera and
Mm-hmm.
pull the MP4s
Huh.
for all the way
Wow.
back to February.
Okay. Right. Okay. Wow. So, this is very strange. This is so strange. So, I mean, the big questions, even aside from like us individually being sent, the files or information or whatever, is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess it could be. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking about this like I don't know. I'm thinking about this out loud for the first time. So is it that somebody was trying to get good information out about the case that they felt like was not being accessed or revealed by law enforcement, or was it somebody trying to interfere in facts coming out about the case, or I don't know. What do you think?
Mm,
Or none of the above, of course. I'm sure there's plenty of other
yeah,
options, but
yeah. So after comparing things and seeing things that we actually should have seen from the link that was put out,
uh-huh.
that it's definitely a diversion.
Okay. All right.
Or was supposed to be, and somewhere some lines got crossed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Interesting. Okay.
But I do
Good
feel
night,
like
allegedly. Sorry.
like there's always a little, oh God, pre-sequel,
Yeah.
like a day or two before something happens, something comes out, something strange makes the news, and it's like, is it a setup to keep us distracted?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So but then the next question is, again, I'm just thinking, I'm not interrogating you, I'm thinking out loud. So the next question is, distracted from what? Like when you keep like, digging deeper, peeling away the layers, or whatever analogy you want to use, like there's always another. Here's the thing with this case, there's always another question. Never is there an answer, in my opinion. I feel like there's just always another question.
I feel like we're missing, like, we only have like 40% of the puzzle, and we're
Oh,
trying to
darn. I was going to say, would you say 10% of the puzzle? Because that's what
Well,
AWP kept saying.
we only have a portion of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
a very
exactly.
small portion of the puzzle.
Yes.
And we're trying to make it all, put the puzzle together with only this portion of the puzzle and the rest of it missing. It's just never going to happen. I
Yeah.
think 10 years from now, we will still be going, how did we miss it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's true. Now, you know what? One of the big questions I have, I mean, okay, so Nick, the tow truck driver, whatever the hell he was, do you think he was a diversion?
I'm back and forth on that.
Mm-hmm.
In one way, I feel like he could have been to distract AWP.
Yeah, yeah.
And they trusted him.
Mm-hmm. He was trustworthy. What he said and what he, I mean, he was like, I had complete like, and I feel, you know, I feel suspicious of everybody in this case. He was the one person where just my intuition, but then even using like, you know, different methods of evaluating his statements, evaluating his nonverbal indications of deceptive and truthfulness and all of these things, I found zero problem with him. And even now when I go back and watch that video, I still find zero problem with him.
Right.
But I still don't think that I don't know, man. I don't think he saw Kiely the next day. That's for sure. I don't think that personally. I don't know.
Right. Muddy in the waters.
Are they going to feel that mud with their hands even though they have scuba gear on? I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's a good analogy, Muddy.
Oh,
I thought the same thing when I watched that presser, and I was like, this is not making any sense. You have scuba gear.
Right. Right. I don't, yeah. I mean, I can't believe that more people aren't questioning that. The guy is a flying idiot. And I mean, he's not a flying idiot talking about, you know, some theft at a local Walmart or something. It's like, it's the death of the community's daughter. You know, I mean, like, come on, like, it's not acceptable. It's not believable. It's nonsensical. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, so that was, you know, him being so believable.
Yeah.
Was, you know, looking back now, was he a distraction for AWP? They just were smarter.
Yeah. So if he was a distraction for AWP, who sent him as a distraction?
That I don't know, because there's people that I feel like could be the king.
Yeah. Wow. It's just freaking crazy. Yeah, I there's so many questions I don't even know what to ask anymore. Let me check chat here. See, AWP vetted Nick. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Lisa says AWP vetted Nick, but the video was elusive. The story based on us/AWP believing the proof was there and legit. It's a puzzle piece that came from a different box. Oh, now you're being a little cryptic too, Lisa. Come on now. Don't make me more confused.
I know.
Good comment, but no. Let's see. Esther says, makes me angry when we never got to see the roadside assistance video. Now that's so if Nick's story is true, based on what he said and based on what we all know of roadside assistance service, first of all, her VIN should have been recorded. And yes, there should have been cameras, according to him, from those two different angles, the front and the back. And like, what the hell? Like, how is that forgotten? I mean, I haven't forgotten. I'm sure you haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten. People bring it up in chat. But for the most part, it's been swept under the rug. Which might, I think to your point, be exactly what somebody wants.
You're right. Somebody does.
Yeah. See, Dr. Latina says, my gut, no data, is that fire cams were manipulated or contrived to fit a narrative. Tow truck guy may have gave, I think she probably sent prematurely. I think there's more to that.
No, may have been a plant by law enforcement.
Okay. I didn't see the rest of it. Okay.
Crosser.
By law. Okay. So it may have been a plant by law enforcement. Why? I keep asking that. I mean, I'm not trying to be like It's like that's the next question always. Why? Like, yeah, it may
To
have been
us,
okay.
why? To us, it is, but to them, it's logical for some reason. To us, we're going to continue to say, well, why? Because
Well, was it logical or was it necessary because they had to? I don't know. Because they had to. I was just trying to find that video of where Sheriff Sam excellent says it's something about the boat ramp, and then he says cover up, and then he mistakenly says, and he says cover up again. Was it necessary because they had to cover up something? You know, I don't know. I know it makes your brain hurt. Oops. Where'd he go? There.
all right, I need to read that.
What'd she say?
SF started fire cam bit on October 4th, and under his YouTube video said to move suspicion away from Sammy.
Wait, what? Hold on, I gotta get that. Wait. Am I caught up? Okay, yeah. Hi, Kurt Stacy. Kurt Stacy says, this whole case is just bizarre. Too many folks in the community acting clandestine, and it is what it is. Leave us alone. Right. Yeah. Especially when it's like your friend, your best friend, or your daughter, or something that just died. Jeez. Let's see. Oh, wait. Jade Hunter says, I've been saying that for weeks. Let's see.
I need you to tag me in that video again.
What are you talking about?
What we were just about, how SF with the YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, I found it.
You made a video.
SF started the fire cam bit on October 4th. Whoops. And under his YouTube video, it said to move suspicion away from Sammy. What? Are you sure that's really? You want to come up, Ara? Come up. I'm gonna drop the link.
Made a video on it.
What?
It says she made a video on it.
Well, then it must be true. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. I'm just see if she's willing to explain it. I haven't seen it. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah, Megan appeared out of thin air to clear Sammy's name as well. Well, I that's my opinion of Megan by her own words. You know, and again, I don't want to like knock too much on Megan. I worry about her a little bit, but I don't, I'm not gonna her at all. But I think by her own words, you know, she was clear. She was just trying to clear Sammy. And then my next question is why? Why is it important for her to clear Sammy? Why does she feel that's important? You know, all these whys. And I'm not trying to be like, you know, just like funny by keep asking why. Like literally, it's always another why. Like why the hell? You know?
I mean, we asked her the same thing the other night, and yeah, it got a little.
What'd she say?
I don't. She never, you know how she does.
Yeah. Eludes a question. Oh,
yeah.
Hi, honey. You're my kid. You okay? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Are you gonna come up? I'm dropping a link if you do want to come up. Yeah, and SF investigates. Like, I just think I don't know. I just kind of think he's a doofus.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
Now that we know that it was him in the AWP video, I just get I get tickled at his.
I get tickled.
Look at his demeanor. He's like walking around like. Now that we know,
yeah,
no, that does not match. When you take the blur off, no, something.
Yeah,
like you should not have been that cocky.
Now, and how did he end up there?
He was getting on a plane to go to Hawaii when he heard about Kiely's case, so he decided not to go to Hawaii and go help search for Kiely.
So how did he end up on this? How did he end up standing there with Dad and Grandpa when
he made friends?
Okay. I don't know. I don't believe it. I don't know. Here's Ara. Let's bring Ara up, see what she has to say. So, whoops, she just went down. Get back here, Ara. Something with it happened. Okay, she came up and down. Huh. Let's see. So, whoops. Wow, lots of different opinions now. Hey, Phantasmic Ether, how you doing? Nice to see you. Welcome. Let's see. Definitely cannot. Mrs. G says, I definitely cannot change the narrative. They killed Kiely. Who killed Kiely? Let's see.
Oh, I don't know. Like he was going, Alicia, he was going, this is his story. I don't know.
Mhm.
This is just what
Yeah.
he told on Zav's live the night that I was on panel.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the story he said was he was going to Hawaii when he heard about Kylie's case. So I don't know. That's just
To do some like high fashion photography, he says.
yes. Yeah.
I mean, high fashion photographers aren't like, whatever. I just don't believe the guy. I don't believe anything he says. So anything he says, I don't know. I can't factor it into the equation like without laughing.
Right.
I
mean, I got blocked.
Oh, that's right. I posted that when I just happened to finally check out his Twitter. And the first thing I say is he's saying something about you.
But the
And
funny thing is, he had already blocked me. He blocked me when Megan done her interview on my channel.
Ugh.
And then he acted like he didn't know who I was. And I'm like, dude, I just tried to look at you 2 days ago and I was blocked. So,
yeah. Oh.
But I'm like, well, he just blocks everybody. So don't say nothing because you'll get blocked.
Yeah. He can block me. I don't care. He's like weird. So Alicia says, SF connects to Grandpa then way before Kiely went missing. Maybe. No. Let's see. People keep responding to Dr. Latina's comments. I'm trying to find them and I can't find her comments. Where'd you go, Dr. Latina? I can't find her comments. I really can't find her comments. I know. RS wisely, just like Sam the sheriff says, remember, just because your phone pings somewhere doesn't mean your phone pings somewhere. Oh my God. Yes, they are a bunch of clowns. So, well, this is kind of how I've always felt about it too. So let's see. The imprint says God put AWP there at the right place at the right time. You can't outrun God. What don't you people get about that? Like I sort of think that is exactly the case.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And then all the hatred towards them, and then especially my guys, the family. I don't know. Jeez. I just don't know. Hey, Jay Point, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I just watched one of your videos, a couple of your videos the other day, actually. Awesome. Nice to see you. Welcome. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I just think that there's just been too many odd things that came about.
Yes, like
even
way too many.
After they found her, like too many odd coincidences.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like always in true crime, something like people always say is like when, there's all of these coincidences, they just can't be coincidences because that's just not how coincidences work. Coincidences are like, fateful or incidental or arbitrary, occurrences of things happening at the same time or the same place that have no rhyme or reason. Once they start happening all at once, there is officially a pattern and they are no longer coincidences. So you have to ask why and like look further. And that's big time what's happening in this case.
I think even if I don't know, even if CHP come out and said it was an accident, I need proof. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And usually yeah, absolutely. Hi, Rosie. How are you doing? Um, Rosie says, I'm not sure about like, it's nice to see you, Rosie, by the way. I haven't seen you in a while, sweetheart. Glad you're here. Rosie says, does anyone else find it ironic that the reward money was allegedly withdrawn on Saturday, the same day APW or AWP, was there, but diverted? Could this have anything to do with the roadside guy? Maybe a plant, but to cancel the money. Is that? I didn't know that. Did you hear anything about that, Michelle?
I would. So if you didn't know anything about that, I suggest go checking out Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
Just
I don't know, Squirrel
Girl.
Girl. I think some of her stuff. I recently had been told by modern. I thought some of it. I think she did good research. I think some of it has gone way off the wall. And somebody else that was on panel last time, I had a live and was saying go check out Squirrel Girl. And I just have to say, because I always try to direct people towards facts. That's my opinion about Squirrel Girl. I always encourage everyone to make their own decision for themselves and use their own judgment. But I certainly cannot endorse the channel in its entirety at this point. But I think some of the stuff that, after I watched some of the more recent stuff, I went back and looked at some of the older stuff that I thought seemed pretty, like good research,
I haven't seen any. I mean, I haven't watched any. Not that I haven't seen any, but I'm saying like I haven't watched hers in a few days. But the one that she done explaining the GoFundMe is amazing.
Okay, cool. Definitely. Okay, so check that one out on the GoFundMe. Yeah.
He has the original flyers and everything.
Awesome. For the original flyers for the GoFundMe or for Kylie's Missing?
Yeah, but it already had the GoFundMe on there.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Wow.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Somebody's contacted me from Class Kids. I don't think she's here tonight. She's been in the chat and a member recently, which has been awesome. Well, she just did a stream like a week ago. So she had sent this to me way back in September, but I didn't respond to anybody for like a month, COVID. And she is a volunteer for Class Kids. So Class Kids exists exclusively for the purpose of finding missing teens and children. So it's Polly Class's father founded it after Polly Class went missing and was abducted and murdered. A very terrible story, but they are an organization that has an extremely high success rate in actually finding and bringing home, or at least finding, recovering wise, missing teens and children. So the way that they format, or they request the format of their missing persons flyers is very specific because they found a formula, so to speak, that works, right? So, she pointed out, and then I showed during that live that she found this to be extremely surprising. The people in Class Kids who received this flyer were just like, what the heck is going on? And it's something that at first, seemed kind of simple, but the more you think about it, the more it is really strange. There's a field on the flyers, the missing persons flyers. Oh, shoot. And I don't have, oh, wait, it's in my last stream. I can look up the stream and show you. That is for putting all of the details that you can about where the person was last seen, what they were doing, anything that's going to help give people information where somebody's going to go, oh, yeah, okay. well, hey, oh my God, I saw that person at that time in that place. It is therefore going to generate a good lead, right? So anyway, the moral of the story is the flyers that they received on August 8th said that, just Kiely, went missing. She went missing in Truckee, and then it just went on to say, some other very vague things without giving any of the details that were 100% verifiably known at that time. So, we had this whole conversation about why that's so strange and like why that could be. And again, it sounds like a simple thing on the surface, but when you start to really think about it and dig deep into it, it's just another really big question.
It's one rabbit hole that leads to another.
It is.
Because
It is.
never finished digging the first hole.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And it's totally true. I don't know. So, squirrel. You're talking about Squirrel Girl or Squirrel on Fire, Michelle, or Squirrel, whatever. Who are you just talking about, Michelle?
The video on the GoFundMe?
Yeah, whose video?
Squirrel Girl.
Oh, Squirrel Girl. Geez, I got it mixed up. Thank you, Gregory. Never mind. I love Squirrel Girl. I love all of her stuff. Sorry, I missquirreled. I mixed up my squirrels. Sorry. Yes, 100%. I'm sorry, Michelle. And Squirrel Girl knows I love her. I absolutely recommend and endorse all of Squirrel Girl's material. Thank you for setting me straight, Gregory. Oh my God, I didn't want to leave that lingering out there like that. Yikes. Oopsie. Oh wait, who's hidden? Lisa? I'll see if I can figure that out there. If I can see her. Okay, so I'm going to have to go pretty soon. I'm so glad you pointed that out. I just want to show. Yeah, Squirrel Girl is awesome. Yes. So, okay, so we've gotten that all straight. Oh, geez, I wish I didn't open my mouth because now I said something not super awesome about another channel, which I hate doing, but whatever, it's out there, so whatever. I just really like facts as much as possible. And I will always believe that that's a pretty decent philosophy. So Dr. Latina, since you are here in the chat, which is awesome, I just want to show you, it's just a 5-minute little, it's a video I'd already put out, so some of you may have already seen it. It's just about the autopsy reports and the toxicology report and the findings that Kiely was not intoxicated. Do you agree with that, Dr. Latina? Yeah. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but okay. Yes. I don't want to put words in her mouth if she's right here. Yeah, but and so I keep missing her comments. So okay, so to bring this all together, we have all of these huge questions. So we have everything that we have discussed about law enforcement and everything we've looked at just with the Placer County Sheriff's Office today, just on the dates of August 12th and August 13th. They're, discussed for their own community members and the public, the short fuses, the way that, that gentleman who was asking those questions in the one Truckee community meeting just really set them on fire. Like they were basically having a temper tantrum breakdown. And then we have how excited Angela got when somebody in the community meeting was asking her to stop all of the internet detectivery and, law enforcement in general doing a lot really to try to stop and completely reject tips regarding Kiely's whereabouts and what happened to her. And when they actually did have to investigate tips, all they did was whine and complain about it like they had no business doing it or they were being asked to do way too much. So looking at all of that, and there's so much more, I really have to question how much investigating they actually did. I'm close to having come to a conclusion that they really didn't do that much. And I mean, and in a way that's obvious, I kind of know that, but piecing everything together, we see a very clear and strong picture that shows us they did not investigate. They did not. What were they doing? And how in God's name were they so brazenly and boldly going out there professing to, doing all this extensive investigating and digging in the mud and all this, like every day for X number of days when they were doing jack shit? How did that happen?
It was busy muddy in the water.
Really busy muddying the water. And then on the other side of things, we have Sammy and the kids and all that. Now, Sammy's major claim about Kiely that night that she couldn't say enough is that Kiely was highly intoxicated, that she was basically inebriated, right?
Right.
Well, now that we have the toxicology report, we know that's not true either.
Then you have to wonder why it
right
was made for the witnesses that did come forward and talk to make it look like she was drunk. Why?
Right. Why exactly? Why was it so important to make people believe that she was drunk? So then we have to ask, okay, well, what value would it have to, I'm just going to use Sammy as an example because she, by her own choice and volition, has by far the loudest voice of any of those kids. What's in it for her to make the world believe that Kiely was drunk? Well, whoops. So the only conclusion that I can come to after, I don't know, whoops, I keep accidentally playing that. There had to be something in it for her and it had to be personal. I don't think that she was trying to tell all these extensive lies to the degree that she was. She doesn't have the personality of a person that would do that for anyone other than him or herself. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's too many questions after that. It's starting to become obvious at that point.
There's just, I don't know how to. I think that there's collectively together, everybody could probably, solve it, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone has different angles or information than some of the others, and they don't know that this one has it and this one don't know that they have the other piece. And I feel like we're just not able to connect the dots yet. Like it's going to really connect.
Yeah. I think also throw in there, people have different angles. And then there's also, I think, people in there with different motives that are very important to them. And yeah. I'm sorry. I kind of cut you off, Michelle. I'm sorry. You want to finish that thought?
No, I think that you did finish it.
Okay.
Same page.
All righty. Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna play this. If Dr. Latina's, she is still here, I'd love to hear what you think about this. So, questions. All right, here we go. Oh my God, questions, too many freaking questions. Oops.
State of mind to set on feet.
Oops, I went to dialogue.
Follow the voices from below. Wherever I go, there's a change. My own shackles drive me insane. Let your body be new.
What the heck? Okay. the beginning, people wondered why Sammy Smith was front and center, why she was soliciting information from teens, and she was asking them to give her information, even if they had given information to law enforcement, or even in preference of giving information to law enforcement. And law enforcement seemed to allow this to continue.
I'm in charge of the teen-to-teen talks. I see a lot of faces here. I know a lot of you. We go to school together. I've seen you around at this party. I've seen you around. Please, if you have given a statement to the police, that's fine. I don't care. I need every single teenager here. If you are willing to, and if you can, please realize how serious this is. I need you to come to me right now. If you can, please come give us a teen. Please meet us over at that pop-up. Thank you.
From the very beginning, Sammy Smith maintained the same script, much like Nicole Kessinger maintained in the Watts case. That's what it reminds me of. And Sammy Smith maintained that Kiely Rodni was extremely intoxicated.
We were both at the party together. We were going around together. We were like a little pair. Everybody kind of saw us together. We would split off for moments. I have the last call to her, and I was the last person pretty much who knows what was happening.
Smith got a ride home from the party at the end of the night. She says Rodney was planning to spend the night at the campground.
I know that she was not in the right mindset or state to drive, and if she were to have driven, she wouldn't have made it far.
In fact, a pillar of Sammy Smith's story regarding what happened that evening has to do with Kiely Rodni being so... Yeah, this statement has become increasingly important, in my opinion, about her not making it very far.
That she was not in the right mindset or state to drive, and if she were to have driven, she wouldn't have made it far.
In fact, a pillar of Sammy Smith's story regarding what happened that evening has to do with Kiely Rodni being so intoxicated, Sammy Smith felt that she could not safely get a ride home with Kiely, and so she had to leave Kiely to find another ride home.
I was the last person to see her and talk to her, actually. She called me at 12:36 in the morning asking if I still needed a ride home from the party, even though about 10 minutes before that I had told her, I'm leaving. I already have another ride because I didn't want to drive home with her. And so I had told her that, but she still ended up calling me at 12:36 asking if I needed a ride, and she sounded just really drunk, I guess. And then I saw her the second she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the party. We would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people or to go do other things, but we would always come back to each other. We were just going around the party. We were drinking the same drinks, being teenagers, throwing glow sticks into the party, and it started to grow really big. I would say around 10 to 10:30. So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes, and then
again, Sammy is sticking with the narrative of Kiely is really drunk.
Shani Jones wants to ask you, on your last call, did she let you know who the quote-unquote friend was that was driving her home?
Yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home, and she was not driving. So, okay, at the end of the party when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk, and so I did not want her to be driving me home because I know about drunk drivers and all that, and so
Smart.
and I figured she would be staying there or she would find a ride home because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know she's smart. And so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home and that I loved her and I would say bye for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride. And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, "Hey, where are you?" And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, "Hey, where are you? do you still need a ride home? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm like getting driven home now. In the car right now. I'm like getting driven home now. In the car right now. I'm like getting driven home now. But Kiely did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
There are so many issues and discrepancies and inconsistencies with what Sammy Smith says in her media interviews time and time again, but we're just going to focus on this one today, and that is Sammy Smith's claim time and time again that Kiely Rodni was heavily intoxicated, that she was not able to drive. If she did drive, she wouldn't have gotten very far, is what she said, that she was so drunk she couldn't get a ride home with her. And she says time and time again, sometimes, kind of superfluously, that Kiely was drunk. She's making a really big point of this. She's driving at home. She doesn't forget to tell us about it in any of her media appearances. So now we've got this one problem, and it's a toxicology report. So here we have an official toxicology report that you may have heard many doctors or physicians or even a couple former medical examiners evaluate on YouTube. Well, I myself talked to two friends of mine who are physicians. One of them actually used to work in the medical examiner's office. She was not the medical examiner. I just want to be clear on that. And they have both come to the same conclusion that many of the physicians I've heard report on this in YouTube have come to as well. We see here that the level of ethanol in Kiely Rodni's bloodstream, which is how alcohol is measured, is in units of milligrams per 100 grams. And the reporting limit is 80. So that means the number of milligrams per 100 grams would have to be above 80 for it to be reported as any kind of positive result on this toxicology report. So we see here in the first row on the top, first column, the Kiely Rodni's result was 88. What I have learned from my two friends who are physicians, one of them who used to work in the medical examiner's office, is a similar finding to what Dr. Latina announced on Zavgirl's channel. And I've heard a couple other physicians discuss on other YouTube channels, is that a level of 88 could be accounted for by the process of decomposition itself. So something we learned in the Shan Watts case, or that you might know if you know more about autopsies and medical facts in general, that I do, is that when a person passes away and a body goes through the process of decomposition, the process of decomposition itself creates alcohol as a byproduct. So the process of decomposition itself is going to render some kind of measurement of alcohol on the toxicology report, regardless of whether a person has actually consumed alcohol or not. Okay, wait, just one second. So something that we need to know when we're looking at this chart. Holding. So wait, hold it. There's I just want to swap videos. There's one that's just has a little better visuals for you that are visual people. So I'm going to take that down, swap it out. See? Oopsie.
Sounded just really drunk, I guess. She was supposed to give
Hold
me
it. I don't want to. I don't. Here we go.
Report on
the
this
same
in YouTube
point in
has
this
come to
one
as well. We see here that the level of ethanol in Kiely Rodni's bloodstream, which is how
okay, here we
this
go.
chart I'm about to show you is a finding of 88 on a toxicology report for ethanol levels is going to be equal to 0.088
when we look at this chart. So we can say, you know, even that it is 0.9, okay? So if you look at the top row of the chart, you see a person's body weight. So we have 90 pounds, 100 pounds, 120 pounds, 140 pounds, and so on. So Kiely Rodni weighed only about 100 pounds. So if you now look down that column and find the 0.9, so her level was 88, which is 0.088. Let's round that up to 0.09. You see that is equivalent to 2 drinks, just 2 drinks. Okay, 2 drinks. All right. You know, like 2 beers, 2 glasses of wine, 2 shots of liquor. That's what it's going to be equal to. Now, we must remember that the process of decomposition itself in the human body after a human passes away produces alcohol that's going to render a result of positive ethanol on a toxicology report. So at least some of, if not all of, that 0.088 findings that's equivalent to 2 drinks is due to the process of decomposition itself. That means we can conclusively say that Kiely Rodni had less than 2 drinks of alcohol in her system that evening. Is that enough to make her intoxicated, inebriated, so that people watching her would be weary of her, thinking that she was not in control of herself, not capable of driving home, or, you know, kind of like scary to get a ride home with? This is a subjective conclusion that one must make, but, you know, come on, guys.
Wherever I go, there's a change. My own shackles drive me insane.
What the heck?
Let your back.
Okay, so that was that. So I believe from, you know, all of the people that know more about that stuff than I do, who seem to all agree with one another, except for I've heard a couple that just obviously have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know if they're even actually involved in the medical field. I absolutely believe that she was not intoxicated. And if she was not intoxicated, all of the beating on the drum about her being wasted by Sammy is completely suspicious. And what do we know about suspicious behavior? There's always a reason. Something that we always say, and you know, behavioral therapy is every behavior has a reason, every behavior has a purpose. Behavior does not exist in a vacuum. It never exists without a reason, a why, something that's trying to be obtained. So in this case, you know, we have behavior, and then we also have like something more than that. So what was at stake for Sammy? Thank you, No Way. Thank you. Hi, Tony. How are ya? She'd come across that way if, yeah. She'd come across that way if drug. I'm not sure what that means. But hi, Tony. Either way, I'll try to figure out what that means. Like,
the way that they described Kylie, she would take it as she was drugged.
Oh, okay.
That they were describing her. She would have
Gotcha.
said drugged instead of drunk.
Gotcha. But she, I mean, in the toxicology report, and is Dr. Latina still here? I feel like to know what she thinks. But in the tox report, I mean, what they found, you know, they found what they did is I just described the alcohol. They found marijuana, that whatever Delta 9 marijuana, and they found like what would be like, I don't know, equivalent to trace cocaine. It didn't even meet the reporting levels, which probably indicates, well, according to the people that know more than I do, that she had done some cocaine at some point, possibly not that night, but it wasn't enough to remain in her system at it wasn't the reporting levels, but it was likely there. And I think that's all they found, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, as far as her being drugged, like, yes, she could have not been drunk on alcohol, but she could have been drugged with some other substance. But they did a pretty comprehensive tox report, right? I mean, that's my understanding.
That was my understanding too.
Yeah. Wasted is a nothing word. Oh, it's been a long day. I've been up for like, I don't know, 21 hours. Cut me a break. Welcome, Joe Browning. How are you? Yeah. So that's what you thought they did a comprehensive tox analysis.
Yeah, but I think people have dug like further into it. I haven't had time this week to
Yeah.
Catch everything.
Yeah.
But I think that there may have been more digging into it and they might have found something. So I need to catch up on that.
Oh, and the tox report?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe possibly, but maybe, possibly. Let me know if you find that. Thank you so much, Maggie Bridget, for the what did you say, honey? Your assessment of Sammy is spot on. Thank you, Maggie Bridget, and thank you for supporting the channel and for always being an awesome part of chat and our discussion. You guys are all amazing. I appreciate y'all. And thank you so much for coming up tonight, Michelle. I'm so glad
No,
we finally
thank
got you
you.
up here. And I'm so sorry I forced you to talk about the goddamn cameras.
It was like people. I haven't had to say much about them lately, and then tonight just seemed to be like where I was at. I was like, dang, we're back to the cameras again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, they are, yeah. I mean, that's sometimes, we can talk about this case or, do a live and totally avoid the topic. But I guess it's because I have felt that that there is something to it. I think I tend to always bring them up. So I think that they usually come up here. But I would really like to know what was up with the cameras? Did the cameras really exist? Was the, whatever was people were making videos about, was that real? Was it actual? Was it doctored? Were the timestamps real? Who leaked the camera thing in the first place? Or was it always there? And, law enforcement is just so incompetent. It just flew under the radar. Although if it were real, it would be one of the most critical pieces of evidence indicating whether it was an accident or foul play, right? Like, what is up with all of that? And why are there so many goddamn questions about this camera or not camera or fake camera? Oh my God. It's maddening. Oh, may I have a link, please? Dr. Latina. Of course, my darling. Whoops. I'd love for Dr. Latina to come
Oh,
up.
I would love to have her one night. Just to, even if it was just to sit around and bullshit, I would love to have her.
She's pretty awesome. All right, there you go, Doc. All right, come on up. Yeah, so, yep, I definitely, I always thought that, well, no, I think I saw Dr. Latina. I saw her for a couple minutes on Zav Girls channel. Oh, that day the toxicology reports first came out. And then I stopped watching it, honestly, because it was like, it had nothing to do with Dr. Latina. And then I talked to my two friends and I watched Dr. Latina on her own channel after that. And I thought that she sounded incredibly knowledgeable and, in my unknowledgeable of medicine opinion, accurate. But how would I know? But according to what my doctor friends say, it all matched up, like I said. So everybody, without further ado, welcome. Whoops. Dr. Latina, let me make you bigger here. Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
there you go.
no,
How you
don't.
go? How's it going?
Fine. I really like your show. I found your channel several weeks ago and I subbed, and I initially thought you were only doing the
Awesome.
Watts case. Yeah, initially I thought it was just for the Watts, but then I said no, it's more than the Watts case. So I've
It
been
was
following
it,
you
it,
along.
it was it was it was oh, it what I actually just a little side note. I'm so glad you brought that up, Doctor. Tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, but it won't be Eastern Daylight Time for long. So remember, everybody, to set your clocks back this weekend. We are going to be doing a Watts, the Obsession, Watts Murders live stream. And I have a whole bunch of goodies for you. I've been working on this damn material and video for like a month, and then, well, over a month, actually, about 2 months. And then all kinds of things started happening. So big Watts content tomorrow night. And yeah, well, anyway, I'm so glad you're here and thank you very much.
Oh yes. No, I just wanted to clarify a couple of things.
Yeah.
I myself of course, every day I'm learning. That's life.
Yes.
And I think that the further I've dug into the talk screen, and I actually just did with John QQ a live on his channel, Table Talk, last night, and we must have literally spent, no word of a lie, prepping for his live about 8 hours. I'm not kidding.
Oh my
Because,
gosh!
oh yeah,
Wow.
because we went deep into many different aspects of the autopsy and of the tox
Oh,
report.
so cool.
But
What's
the
the
thing,
channel again? People keep mentioning it. This is new to
his
me.
channel, it's a funny name.
Yeah.
It's John, John. Then it's a Q, just a capital letter Q, and then
Okay.
Q as in a pool cube or something. I don't know. CUE.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
everybody check out that channel, and remember, Dr. Latina has her own channel now. So everyone, please go to Dr. Latina's channel, check it out, subscribe. I'm sure you'll like
Oh,
it.
that's
Okay.
nice. But I
Yeah.
guess my point is that it's too much to go into right now. But last night we really walked through some of the stuff on the tox report that we found that is really is concerning, in the sense that it was a very poorly written tox report, because it looks like that there was cocaine. If you read really quick, you think there was cocaine. No, she had no cocaine on board. But they
No
did not-
cocaine on board.
No,
Okay.
they had no cocaine. But they checked for almost 200 types of medications and illicit and prescription medications, right? But they have all of these. If you really read the tox report, and we go through it, we walk people through it. It has so many disclaimers where the lab says, well, some, if not all of these, we were unable to test for. Well, which ones?
What?
Including
Yeah.
including the fentanyl, which is the big epidemic nationally.
So there was no fentanyl test.
Well, there was. If you go into that, go to the lab site and you open up the expanded tissue order that they ordered is a certain type of test.
Okay.
They did test for, I'm going to say, 178 substances. But
Okay.
here's the problem. I'm a little sick. That's why I'm sounding very nasal.
Aw.
Sorry. So even though they say, okay, we requested these 178, if you look at the talk screen, there are a bunch of disclaimers on Kiely's thing which say things like some or all were unable to be tested for, but they don't say which ones they weren't able to test for.
Wow.
Which really bothers me, because
So
the
you have to go into
fentanyl-
the website to find all of that? Oh no, it's in the it's in the report.
But it's in the report where you can see their
Okay.
disclaimers. But the
Okay.
take-home message, I guess, to your chat family is we don't know if she had fentanyl on board. That's the bottom line. And
Okay.
the main fentanyl, which I discussed last night, talked a lot about in this live, is something called CAR, like CAR, like her car. No, it's no pun intended. CAR fentanyl, which is one of the 14 common fentanyls, synthetic opiates. But it's the not medicine, it's the drug, carfentanil, that's killing people all over the nation.
Oh wow.
And we even show a photo on the screen last night of a penny and just a dot of white substance next to the penny. That much can kill somebody. So here's the thing. They didn't order, even with the expanded test that they ordered for Kiely, that test did not include carfentanil testing.
Oh,
They would have had to have ordered a different test. So,
wow.
in other words, there's so much sloppiness. I hate to say it that way, but that's just
yeah.
The other thing that really bothers me, I totally agree with you, though. Okay, the ethanol likely was from decomposition, and you're right. In the Watts case, if you look at Shanann, she had very high ethanol levels, and people were like, she was drinking and she was pregnant. No, she was in the hot desert or whatever. She was in the sun, and she was decomposing.
Right.
Has anybody noticed on the talk screen, if you go back to the top, which I don't have it in front of me, but if anybody has the opportunity to look back at Kiely's talk screen, they don't even have her date of birth on there. They left it blank.
Oh.
Which to me, as a physician and as somebody in medicine, but also especially in law, you have to have a chain of custody. How can you freaking take that talk screen and take it into a court of law when her date of birth isn't even on it?
Yeah, I mean, this is something interesting. This is something that's researchable, and I will soon enough. This is very interesting. I did not realize that. I am definitely going to look into this because I think this is a very big deal. There are certain components on, documents like medical documents, can in the right context are legal documents, right? So
Right.
there are certain documents that are important documents that have to have certain components completed on them in order for the document to be considered legitimate itself, and therefore obviously in order for the information that is transmitted within the document to have any meaning whatsoever, right?
Right.
So
So
if
how do you
date
say
of
it's
birth is one
credible?
of those components, right? Oh my gosh, that's
But
a really big deal.
but then I don't know if like above the date of birth it does say the case number or some sort of file number or something. Maybe that they
Okay.
would say, well, we can just use this case number as evidence that this is a credible document. But I have to be honest, in the 30 years that I've reviewed, I mean, unfortunately, many patients who've died,
Yeah.
especially from heroin overdose or whatever, I've
Uh-huh.
never seen where the date of birth is left out. We wouldn't consider like in medicine. If I got that report, I would have to call back the lab and say I can't accept this report as valid for my
Mhm.
patient because there's no date of birth that corroborates it's the same person.
So when you're looking at your, medical documents, doing what you do, are there certain things that you always check for to make sure that, the document itself passes that legal standard of, being legitimate and credible? And if so, is date of birth one of them?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, you have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing that I pointed out. And I know my little channel videos are very dry because it's like getting into like the weeds when you're talking about all this autopsy stuff. It's like how ho hum, how boring. But it is interesting in the sense that if you look through the whole coroner's report and the autopsy, they actually don't say how they identified her, how they positively
Right,
identified.
right. That's something I pointed out. And yes.
I
I'm
mean,
so glad you're saying this. Then there's conflicting information about it because they say that she could not be
right.
identified by her facial features. But then in the next the next document within that coroner's report, it says that whoever the sheriff I think was or investigator had identified her, but okay. This is something that my friend Dr. Dre had told me. Tell me what you think about this. That if in a coroner's report, the person is not identified through, just their features because they are recognizable, because their body is not in a condition where they're unrecognizable, that it needs to be explicitly stated by what means the
Yes.
body was
Right.
identified,
And they're
or it's
only
basically a piece of crap.
exactly. And there are only actually
Oh.
there are only three legit ways
Mm-hmm.
to positively identify somebody. And one of them is not facial recognition. That all of the jewelry that they describe is what we
Mm-hmm.
call, you can use that as circumstantial
Yes.
presumptive recognition, or her tattoo, which suddenly went
Uh-huh.
from her ribs to her hip. I don't know how that happened because she
Yep.
supposedly had
Yep.
a tattoo on her ribs the whole
Migrating
time.
tattoo. That's right.
Migraine
Yep.
tattoo. So all of that is considered presumptive
Uh-huh.
ID, not positive. The only three things that are positive
Yep.
would have been her fingerprints, her dental, which of course, if you look at the top, they say they have no dental, medical,
Yep.
no, they have no records. Okay.
That's right.
Fingerprints would be hard if she's been submerged for so long, but that
Uh-huh.
or
Well,
DNA.
she had skin. She was yeah.
Fluffing.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
was fluffing, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they still could have gotten
Okay.
fingerprints or
Okay.
DNA. But
DNA.
I don't
Yeah.
hear that they got any of those. But maybe they're holding back some documents. That is possible. But at the same
Yeah.
time, people have said, well, maybe they're holding back documents. And my back at people is, if you're trying to prove your credibility and the entire
Right.
United States public doesn't believe you anymore, I'm not talking about
Right.
law enforcement in this case, it would be incumbent upon them to cross their T's, dot their I's, and to be, transparent, right?
Yep. Yep.
But instead, we're just
Absolutely.
like, it's slop. It just looks sloppy.
Well, yeah, it absolutely, or at least, it only makes sense, and I would be willing to bet that there are certainly guidelines, policy, procedures, regulations, possibly even legal standards if you are going to be releasing documentation in the event of a, of a death, to the public, there has to be some kind of standard or regulation as to what it is you can release for that purpose. Otherwise, it's like frivolous. I can't think of the right word, but I don't know.
Right, I know what you're saying. It's sort of gratuitous, or it's
Yes,
not.
exactly,
It's not. It's
exactly.
not me. But to me, like
And
some
it would
people
be a
are.
it would be a profession, it would be, a mark against your professional record in doing so and releasing something that is gratuitous in the
Right,
case
right.
of, yeah.
But the thing that kills me is that we don't have. If you really go back to those documents, and I mean, I know it is difficult. I understand that your friends that are physicians don't want to come out publicly, and it's hard for me because I practice medicine still, and but at the
Uh-huh.
same time, I try to say, okay, I'm not a pathologist or forensic medical
Uh-huh.
examiner, but I also, as a physician, it is important for me to give my opinions,
Yes,
because otherwise,
absolutely.
how do we advance truth?
Right,
By all,
absolutely. Absolutely.
and I've caught a lot of like fire, so to speak. I don't know what the expression is from the
Mhm.
the YouTube community. Some people are like, "This is so unethical that you would proffer your opinions on
No.
this." But for me, I think it's part
I
of.
think it's a public service.
Well, I think we have to do this so that we all can learn. No, and
Yes,
it's
I
just my
agree. I
opinion. If
agree.
people don't have to agree with my opinion, they can just. In fact, one of your people in chat just said to me, she wrote me on Facebook. I may have made a little error on something in an article that I quoted, so I got to go back to it
Okay.
and I have to correct myself. Doesn't mean we're
Right.
all 100% perfect, but I think just to
Right.
say, let's be like Lindsay said, there's honor in silence. No, there's not
Yeah.
honor in silence.
No.
We have to.
Yeah.
We have to be forthcoming in life. That's
Yes,
my opinion.
yes. Yeah, no, I absolutely completely agree with you. And the reasons that my two friends didn't want to come on, well, one of them, the gentleman, it is more, he's oh, they're very, he and his wife and his family, they have a very sort of like strict religious beliefs, and it has more to do with his wife. It has more to do with
But
his friendship with me
yeah, but you know what?
than
I
yeah.
totally get that, because the thing
Yeah.
is that in the previous job that I had, and I've explained
Uh-huh.
this to other YouTube people before,
Uh-huh.
like I am now, I had to actually get permission from the chief medical
Yeah.
officer to be able to come onto YouTube, and
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
make sure that I was saying I'm making these statements not as an employee of this organization, but as an
Right.
independent thinker, and so it's very dicey, I think, in my
Yes.
profession, and we want to make sure that we're, and plus our privacy is important, and I understand
Yeah.
if your friend isn't even in the YouTube true crime thing genre, he
Yeah.
doesn't want to insert himself. I
That's
totally
right.
get that.
Well, and then Doctor, my friend Dr. Dre is, she she has been working so hard for so many years and has always had this dream of opening her own practice. She went to practice for herself just over a year ago. So she is just not willing to do
No.
anything that's going to put her dream on the line. You know
Oh,
what I mean? And which
I
I
totally.
understand.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I get that. It's really a shame, though, in our
Yeah.
society that
Yes,
darts
yes,
are
I
thrown,
agree.
at people,
Yep.
but we have to take that. No, I totally respect. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 61, and I'm sort of in the autumn, so to speak, of my career. So
Yeah.
I feel like I have a little more courage to give my opinion publicly. But if
Yeah.
I were 40 or 50, I'd be like, no way, because I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to feed my children. I still have to, but
Right.
not as much. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to come on to clarify a couple of things on the talk screen.
No,
And
I really appreciate that. And I really wanted your opinion. Now, I've one question. Well, I have a lot of questions, but it's driving me crazy. I can't remember what Dr. Dre had told me was that she felt that the coroner's report in its entirety, including mostly she was like focusing on the autopsy, but she was looking at the whole thing, that it did not it did not meet the standards of coming to a legitimate, like, decisive conclusion, because all of the conclusions, or I can't think of my word, I'm kind of tired, that it came to were by the use of exclusion,
well,
and then she used another word too, and I can't remember what it was.
well, the thing is that drowning on autopsy is actually a conclusion of exclusion. In other words, you rule out, okay,
Right, right,
the
right.
person was submerged, But in the let's say, so you think it could be drowning, but then you have to rule out that I don't see gunshot wound, I don't see head trauma, I don't see
Uh-huh.
strangulation. So you
Right, right.
include all those other things, and then you say,
Sure.
let me entertain the concept of drowning. But
Sure.
then you have to kind of say, well, what are the findings in drowning? And
Yeah.
there really weren't any that I saw.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know how they came to that conclusion.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think Marlena Cantu or one of your folks in your chat mentioned
Uh-huh.
that we don't even know if she was driving. So how could you say it was an accident?
Right,
We
right.
really don't. She was found in a tailgate.
Right.
So
Right.
and the whole issue of there was that ceiling seatbelt that was hanging out of the tailgate.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing that they did not address in the uh, coroner scene investigation. Where was that seatbelt? They never commented on that.
Yeah, never. There's so much that they didn't comment on.
Oh, it's
There's so
incredible.
many details that have come into question and that have been questionable along the way. So many that they, I mean, whatever is going on here, whether there are people trying to distract or destroy or obfuscate, I guess they're kind of doing a good job of it because there are a lot of things that should be addressed and would be addressed by, upstanding, competent, you know, like representatives of the law, but they are not here. It is so,
It's very
it's such a
frustrating.
mess.
It's a mess, but in
Yeah.
the end of the day, what I feel is this is a feeling, not a fact. This is my feeling.
Yeah.
Is in the end of the
Feelings are
day.
okay.
Yes, they are. But in the end of the day, if I never find out what happened to this child, and it's all been hidden. I'm making this up. Let's pretend it's all been covered up. What I would,
Uh-huh.
what I would wish for and expect from law enforcement is for them to come forward and say, the case is closed, but we are going to make some changes. We're no longer going to turn our heads and avert our eyes from these illegal parties. We're going to be addressing the
Mm-hmm.
drug problem. We're not going to let children who are on a preliminary or provisional driver's license just willy-nilly be driving after curfew or toting other teens. There's so much
Mm-hmm.
that law enforcement could bring to the table to make things right as
Right.
far as
Right.
prevention, as far as the future and prevention.
Yeah.
But they haven't done that. And that I think
No.
is just wrong. I know it's
Yeah.
wrong.
It is wrong. And I mean, they haven't taken measures to make things right at any step of this investigation.
No.
And it truly is disgraceful. I mean, it truly is disgraceful. Somebody wanted to ask you the question in chat here. I just noticed this. It says, ask Dr. Latina. Well, I think, okay, the first part of the question is why 2 contraceptive devices? But I think one was that Diva Cup thing and the other one
Oh,
was
what
an
was the Diva Cup?
IUD.
Yes, the
Yeah.
IUD is
Okay.
for contraception, and the Diva Cup is for menstrual flow. It's a
Yes.
natural
Yes.
product rather than having to use the Kotex or the tampons or whatever. And
Yes.
it's
Yes.
actually environmentally very good. So no, there was one contraceptive device. Yeah.
The Diva Cup endorsed by Truckee. Okay, and then and then the other thing was okay, and I'm going to expand on this because I was talking about this with my friend Dr. Dre too. And this really struck me as well, but I didn't know if it was appropriate or not. But the second part that Mrs. Kelly asked is, and why were they so accurate about that released portion? Oh wait,
Or
okay,
inaccurate.
or inaccurate, yes. And what I was, and I guess the next expansion of the question is the autopsy report was so, it seemed to me to be not, I don't know, like Michelle was saying, it reads differently even from
Yeah.
somebody who is not in the medical field,
Oh, yeah.
differently than
I'll tell you
other
what it read.
autopsies report.
I'm going to tell
Okay.
you what it read to me like. And this
Okay.
is from my experience of reading hundreds.
Okay.
This one smacked of what I call a cut and paste or like a template. Like, in other words, when let's say I have templates when I do progress notes for a sore throat. So I'll go, so up on the screen will pop, well-developed, well-nourished child, no acute distress, blah, blah, blah. All the things are normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's not normal, you can fill in and say mild respiratory, and then you'll type in under that any abnormal findings. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something that you might do in a regular sort of progress note, and but you still use a template, but you still add facts that you find that are
Right.
not normal. To
That's right.
me, this smacked of a freaking template. Because it
Yeah.
reads like, if you go and read it, it reads like,
Yeah.
the airways were patent. It just was like da
Yeah.
da da da
Yes.
da da da. I
Yes.
can't explain, and it's like then it
Yes.
added what wasn't or something. I can't explain it any differently than that.
Okay, that's exactly it. That's exactly like where I'm sure what I was not able to articulate. And then the details that they did add, I found to be distasteful at the very least. And I don't know,
Well, the
like
jewelry.
the jewelry and the way the description of like how her like pubic hair was manicured or whatever.
Oh, I
I like
know. Yeah, it was a little strange, and I think they spent. I've never in my life seen so many lines. I'm saying there must have been
yeah.
20 lines of detail about the jewelry
Yes,
between
I
what was written
know.
and scribed. And to me, I felt
Yes.
like they added that because that's what they were using as their way to identify her. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wrong. It's not correct.
Yeah.
But I agree
Right.
with you. I guess, why does it really matter what the pubic hair looked like?
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that that's appropriate. I agree with you. That's a little bit
Yeah.
gratuitous. It's a little extra. No, I just felt like it was a
Yeah.
cut and paste job. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it didn't read like the typical autopsies that I have reviewed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I know that it's yep. It's just crazy. Oh
Do you
well,
see what
thank you so much for your opinion.
Marlena
Oh, go ahead.
Cantu, says, how can they not have dental? Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
yep. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I pinned that. Yeah. There's so many questions. And then Miss T, welcome Miss T, how are you? Says there was a DNA card in evidence. It was at the end.
Yes, but then if you
So,
look at the other part, that's where I feel like it was a cut and paste template. Because they
uh-huh.
put DNA card right where she says that, they say DNA card. But then if you look at the specifics where they filled in under was DNA collected, they said no.
Right, right. There you
It's as
go.
if they
Yep.
didn't take that piece out of the little
Yes.
template. There,
Yes.
so in other words, it to me read like they just put DNA card like they always do that, but that it wasn't actually done. But when they make that kind of discrepant report, to me it
Yeah.
gives me less confidence in the document.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I didn't mean to hijack your panel. I just wanted to come on and I wanted to give a
Oh
little
no,
input.
I so appreciate it. Michelle, are you still there?
I am.
Poor little
Did you want
Michelle.
to ask
Sorry,
did you want to ask
No,
Dr.
I
Latina anything?
love hearing Dr. Latina's. Like,
Yeah.
she's just
Yeah,
calm.
you're very good at explaining things, Dr. Latina. I think that people, find you make to people, and I think this is truly, and I mean it, why, what you're doing is a public service. You make accessible to people information and, well, facts or not facts that would otherwise not be accessible to the average person because we don't speak that language. We don't have the training.
Right.
Even what you think you understand in layman's terms, will in many instances, have a different meaning in the context of an autopsy or a medical report of any kind.
Right.
So thank you. It's really great.
I
It's
just
a good
enjoy this
thing.
community so much. I think we all have, for the most part, in this
Yes.
community, aside from drama,
Yes.
everybody seems like they're a lifelong learner, that they want to continue learning and
Yes.
dialoguing and sharing information in a kind and civil way. And this is the only way I think that we can shine light on the victims. And then the
Yes.
next step for me as a mom and also as a doctor is how to, even if we never solve a crime, we're armchair sleuthing
Right.
here, how are we going to make better our own lives and our own communities? And the only way to do it is to learn about all this stuff and to say, wow, we need to be aware of carfentanil or whatever. And, and we
That's
just need
exactly
prevention.
right.
So,
That's
all right, well,
right. That's
I'm going to
right.
go back to chat now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Latino.
Oh,
I
you're
enjoy having you
welcome.
up here. I really appreciate
Okay,
it. You're
Kelly.
great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And I'm going to go to
Awesome.
because it is late here.
Yes, I know it's getting late here. I'm going to close down too. Yes, but thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate it, Michelle. And you're doing a great job. Keep doing it. And I definitely want to talk to you about, the issue we were talking about earlier with the FBI reporting and the the fire bleep word that you don't want to and maybe compare notes just towards figuring more out. Not appropriate for a live stream, sorry everybody, but if we figure something out, I'm sure we will be able to report some of it to you.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you, darling. You have a good night, and I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, take care, sweetie. Bye. Oh man. So, all right, guys, it is really late here, and I have to work in a few hours, kind of. So yeah, really a few hours. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate every single one of you very, very much. Thank you, moderators. You guys are so awesome. And our regular chatters. It's been wonderful getting to know you over the chat days, and the new people in chat and the new people in the channel. Welcome. We're also glad you're here. It's a very inviting community here. We encourage people to speak their mind. We don't censor. I don't delete comments. I don't erase comments. I don't block people from the channel. I have 22,000 subscribers and 11 people are blocked. We like to be very open here. I just ask that you please be respectful to one another, to the victims to the degree as possible, to their families to the degree as possible. And, life is hard. We don't need to make it harder for one another, right? So, oh my goodness. I don't even know what to say in summary. Yeah, I mean, what the law enforcement agency that we looked at primarily today through the August 12th press conference and the August 13th, the August 12th community meeting, Truckee community meeting, and the August 13th press conference is that the officials in Placer County, the officials from Placer County are, I don't know, man. They're all kinds of messed up. I don't know what's going on. Just like the thumbnail says, they are either highly incompetent or corrupt. I'd like to know what you think. Please let me know what you think. I didn't get to read a lot of the chat tonight. If you leave a comment, that would be great. We'll continue this discussion. I'm going to have another Kiely Rodni deep dive coming up soon because we're systematically going through the different law enforcement agencies and the days and the events that occurred where there was the greatest amount of inconsistency, deception, and possible corruption to try to figure out what the hell really happened so we can find justice for Kiely. Thank you guys for being here. Remember, tomorrow night, we're going back to Chris Watt's case, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I hope you can make it. It's going to be a good one. We haven't done a Watt's case live stream in a long time, and I've been working on this one for a couple months with some contributors. So it'd be great to see you tomorrow night. And whatever you do in the meantime, you're awesome. Be safe. And thank you for being a part of this community. Bye, guys. And again, thank you to Michelle and the CMY family. Hope next time you can make it up. I'm sorry that echo thing was happening. And I hope your kitchen is very, very clean. And thank you so much, Dr. Latina. You're wonderful. And you are doing a public service by informing us all of this medical information. It's very valuable. And we'll see you soon.